Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Rivarts Turf and Forage Grand Trailer Sales KNOX Live Sports Network. Tonight we are going to be bringing you North Dakota High School football, just hopping on a little bit early before our pregame show. The pregame show brought to you by Signature Graphics and True North Equipment. We're just going to hear how we sound, and our pregame show will begin here shortly. Once again, hopping on here to do an audio check, getting ready for our pregame report for Red River and Kindred. Getting ready to begin here shortly. 6 o'clock kick. This is Riders Vikings on KNOX. We welcome you to our coverage of North Dakota high school football tonight on the Rivards Turf and Forage Grand Trailer Sales KNOX Live Sports Network. Grand Forks Red River taking on Kindred, the number 2 team in the state of North Dakota high school football at the Class 2A level. Sam Jensen here alongside my partner, your voice of the Rough Riders tonight, play-by-play, Adrian Cummings, and behind the camera we have Joey Spanger. Adrian, excited for this matchup, Kindred coming to town, the runner-up last year at the Class A level, and then getting moved up to the AA level this season, and they've shown why that the committee had faith in moving them up a competition level.
Yeah, Sam, Kindred is just unlike a team that we've ever really seen before, certainly in Grand Forks in the last number of years. Honestly, pretty comparable to the Riders last year. Anyone that they run into seems to just fall victim to the buzzsaw that is the Kindred Vikings. They're an excellent team, a couple big standout players, but they're well coached as well. So Kindred is showing certainly that probably the move to a class up was the right move for them this season.
Let's take a look at the standings at the 2A level, North Dakota high school football, also the 2A East standings. This is the first conference game for both of these teams in the 2025 campaign. This is our drive for the title segment. Starting off with our look statewide, Kindred, the number 2 team in the state, behind Minot North, receiving 2 first-place votes. Both teams with a perfect 4-0 record. Also undefeated on the season, Grand Forks Central, the crosstown rival of Red River. They're 4-0 to begin their 2025 season. Grand Forks Red River on the outside looking in, not quite in the top 5. Have a chance to make a statement tonight against Kindred, their first game in the Class 2A East Division in the 2025 season. So we're excited to get started, and we are just underway with our pregame show. That, of course, is brought to you by Signature Graphics. We craft your vision, you watch it come to life. And True North Equipment, true to our values, driven by you. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll hear from Vern Muir and also Connor Bishop Diaz. This is Rough Rider Football on KNOX Live Sports.
It's game day, and whether you're feeding the family or the entire team, Hugo's is the place to go. Score big with favorites from the meat department, delicious fresh veggies, and don't forget about the bakery to celebrate the big win. Hugo's Family Marketplace, your game day headquarters.
Thief River Glass handles it all. Aluminum storefronts, auto glass, windows, shower enclosures, and more. Just like our athletes, we're built for every season. No job is too big or too small. Call 218-681-1333 for year-round dependable service.
When you're looking for a change of pace, a change of routine, or a change of scenery, we'll help you find what's next. Berkshire Hathaway Home Services. For you, for life.
Ready to launch your future? At Northland Community and Technical College, opportunity starts here. Train for high-demand technical and skilled trades, or start with an affordable Associates of Arts degree and transfer with ease. Visit northlandcollege.edu.
The Kubota BX Series, rated #1 in durability and owner experience. Talk to your Kubota dealer to schedule a demo.
For expert sales and service, visit Acme Equipment or online at acmekubota.com.
Welcome back to our coverage of Grand Forks Red River football on the KNOX Live Sports Network, brought to you by Grand Trailer Sales and Rivards Turf and Forage. We're going to continue to make our way through this pregame report, which is brought to you by True North Equipment and Signature Graphics. First, we're going to take a look at a conversation that Ryan Cunningham had earlier today with the head coach of the Rough Riders. That's Vern Muir. This coach's interview brought to you by Acme Tools, your Kubota sales and service full-line dealer.
Do you feel like you're better for having played the teams that you have played and seeing some really good competition from the likes of West Fargo Horace and now seeing Kindred tonight? Do you feel like you made some strides so far this year?
Yeah, I would say that we don't have any false identity on our team of thinking that, we might be better than we are or anything like that. So I think one thing for sure that we've seen over the last 3 games is a little bit more continuity on the offensive side of the ball compared to our first game of the year against Horace, where we struggled a little bit trying to move the ball and do some things. And some of that was us and a lot of it was Horace. But I would say over the last 3 weeks, we made a little subtle change in our Coach Sen made a little change as far as like how he was administering the offense and who was the decision maker, that he's kind of taken on a little bit more of the decision making. So then it allows our kids to have to think a little bit less. They can play a little bit faster. And I think that's really helped, especially with Reese and really too, Matt Dosh being a first year, full-time varsity player, that they don't have to go out there and make a lot of pre-snap decisions. they're kind of getting a little bit of help with that they get the decision made for them. Then it's just a matter of them making whatever read they need to make whatever the play that specifically is happening. So I think that's allowed us to have a little bit more continuity on offense and what we're doing. And I think we found a way that's at the moment effective for us to move the ball. The only issue we had up until last week was we weren't scoring a whole lot of points. And obviously last week that changed a little bit because our first 6 possessions, we ended up getting in the end zone. And I think that was just a huge confidence booster. I think our guys realize that Williston's program is down a little bit right now, and that may not be an indicative feature for us that we're just going to score at will now. But the fact that we went out there in the first 6 possessions, we executed, we made some explosive plays and got in the end zone. That's an indication that our guys have figured some stuff out and we're able to go out there and do some things. So obviously the opponent that we're playing from week to week will change the amount of success that we potentially have in the point department. But at least we got that experience that, when we do things right and we do things well, it turned out pretty well for us.
Coach, when you take a look at the box score from last week, you threw the ball a lot, lots of yardage. Seems like you had some explosive plays. I'm focused more on the number of throws. Is that something that you'd like to see from one game to the next? Was that unique against Williston because of what they present you with? Or do you feel like you're getting to that point where, hey, throwing the ball is going to be okay? I know you're a run-first guy, so you probably get nervous when a quarterback drops back. Even if it was Tom Brady, you'd probably still be a little nervous about that. But where are you at as far as run-pass mix with the offense right now?
Well, a lot of our throws are out, what I call the dink and dunk stuff, and they're high percentage completion. So if that's how we have to move the football, I'm okay with that idea. What I would say is you're describing me, if we were throwing the ball downfield all the time and that was all we were doing, then I would be probably not as comfortable regardless of who the quarterback is. But the throws that we are doing at the moment that are helping us move the ball are high percentage type throws. And, we're getting 5-6 yards at the most off of those, but it gets us from a 1st and 10 to a very manageable 2nd and 5, 2nd and 4. And that means we got 2 downs to try to get 4 or 5 yards, sometimes 3, depending upon where we're at on the field. And, our run game just isn't what it was last year, mainly because of the people up front aren't the same. And we don't have a Thomas Kraft in the backfield this year, but we still have to move the ball on the ground or run the ball to keep teams honest and all that. And there too, if we can get 2-3 yards at a time, and then we can line up and throw something short and get 5 or 6 yards, you're looking at 3rd and 2, and that's pretty favorable for any team running any offense. So I think we've just found the right, I wouldn't say mix necessarily a pass and run, but the mix of plays we're doing that get us chances to get manageable 3rd downs to stay on the field. So that's just kind of the deal. It's now we got to keep continuing to do that against a very tough opponent this week.
Coach, how about the line play, both offensively and defensively? I know coming into the season, that was one place that you said, hey, we don't have a Division I guy up there like we had in the past, and somebody's going to have to step up and emerge as that difference maker in that situation. Do you see your team making some strides in that direction?
Well, I think our 2 guys that returned, Xander Wayne and Ryan Ward, have kind of continued along the path they were. It's kind of those other spots. We had, I'd say Dom Leach is the one that's probably been the most consistent so far of the new guys. And we had an injury against Minot North, so one of our guys didn't play last week. So we have a young sophomore that played his first varsity full-time game last week at center. And we had another kid that had played center for us. He quit on us, which was probably a good move for both parts, being that he didn't really want to be there. I mean, we need him. But if you don't want to be with us, then it's probably good if you just, it was a good decision for him to make if he didn't want to be there, because that didn't help our team either. But it also hurts our team too, because he made plays for us. So we kind of got put in a pickle last week that we gotta find some more guys. And then we ended up getting another guy that Brody Beam is dealing with an injury right now. I don't know about his availability Friday. So all of a sudden we went from kind of feeling good about who we have and the amount of depth we have to now it's almost who's left and who do we want to put out there? We don't have a whole lot of depth at the moment. But, then you look at a team like Kindred, they have 18 upperclassmen, and they're really good. And I get Kindred has a unique, they're a unique community in that they're near a large city and have resources and all that. So, but to go out there with 8 seniors and be the kind of team they are against some of us bigger schools, I mean, they have these issues too. But my guess is that their 14, 15 guys they like to play are all pretty good. It's when they're getting to like 17, 18 guy, then it might be a little bit of a drop off there, just because they're a little bit younger maybe or whatever. But so I'm not quite sure we're where I'd like us to be up front. And mainly right now it's due to the revolving door due to injuries. But we got guys that know what they're doing, and we just need to do it at a high level at all times. And like I said, I think the last 3 weeks we've kind of, I wouldn't say we found an identity, but we found a way that we need to move the football. And I think our guys understand how we're doing that, and then they're executing a little bit better with it.
We can talk a lot about the players from Kindred that are really good and why that team is what it is, but let's try to break them down as a team before we wrap up here. Looking at them, it's not the explosive play, it's the fact that so many different players can be an explosive type of player. It's a unique challenge for a defense to take on. So where do you start? Do you start player to player? Do you back off a little bit and try to keep them in front of you? What do you do to try to defend a team like this, knowing that they're a tough out?
Yeah, well, the one thing their coaching staff did is they moved Starcevic to tight end. So you don't, at first you're like, yeah, they're going to have a road grader up front, but now he's the guy that they can get the ball in his hands too. So, and it seems like the ball is going their direction in the air quite a bit. And then they have a really good running back, and they have several guys that they move in and around the backfield. But the main running back is a really good kid. And then the other guys they have that line up at receiver and sometimes in the backfield, they're no slouches either. So, but when they do throw, it seems like the balls are going to Baco and Starcevic the most. So then you got to decide, are we going to cover those guys and hope we can, get a pull down and make the quarterback throw to somebody else? Or do you decide to get after them so the quarterback doesn't have time to find those guys? So it's kind of a feast or famine, and I'm not going to put my cards on the table if we're going to be feasting or famining, but I guess you'll see when you go to the game what we decided to do and how we did it. But obviously our goal every week is we want to keep all the players in front of us. We want to limit explosive plays. Playing against the caliber of athletes we're playing against, that is huge this week because they can score from anywhere on the field. And like I just said, they have a lot of guys they put in a lot of different spots, and they're all pretty darn good. And then they turn around and all play defense, and they're all in different spots, and they do pretty darn good. So, they're just a darn good football team. Obviously, they have the two lights-out players, but the rest of the guys they have too, I think would be highly desirable on any high school football team in North Dakota.
Thank you again to Vern Muir for sitting down with our sports director, Ryan Cunningham, for our coaches' comments. Once again, those coaches' comments brought to you by Acme Tools, your Kubota sales and service full-line dealer. Vern Muir talks a lot about his team not having a false identity, finding some rhythm on offense, some of the depth issues that they're seeing in the trenches as well. So thanks again to Vern Muir for taking the time to have a conversation with Ryan Cunningham for our Acme Tools coaches interview. We're going to take another break here and hear a word from our sponsors. When we come back, we'll preview this matchup between Grand Forks, Red River, and Kindred on the Rivard's Turf and Forage Grand Trailer Sales, KNOX Live Sports Network.
Whether it's a golf course, your lawn, a pasture on your farm, cover crop, or even a food plot to help you get that big buck, Rivard's Turf and Forage of Grand Forks has developed, mixed, and packaged the premium specialized seed you need for almost every application. Go to rivards.com.
Rivals on the ice, united in the stands, and everyone's geared up from Jarrell Sports Center and Hockey World. Hockey gear, fan apparel, Nodak Pride, we've got it all and more. Locally owned, 1004 South Washington Street. Shop local, shop Jarrell's.
Grand Trailer Sales in East Grand Forks is your go-to spot for enclosed utility, flatbed, and dump trailers in the Red River Valley. They have the biggest selection on hand of trailers with great pricing. If you're looking for parts, service, or simply to buy, GrandTrailersales.com.
Signature Graphics in East Grand Forks is your one-stop shop for all your branding and design needs. From embroidery, vinyl wrapping, laser print, and more, fully customized from start to finish, all in-house. Signature Graphics. We craft your vision. You watch it come to life.
When you're in pain, you need more than just a doctor. You need a problem solver. Count on All True Orthopedics and Sports Medicine and get back to what moves you.
It's hard to explain what this feels like. We could try to put it into words, but nothing compares to experiencing it for yourself. You just have to get in the seat.
Visit True North Equipment at any of our 10 locations or at www.truenorthequipment.com.
Spray Advantage of Grand Forks carries everything you need for the chemical and fertilizer application on your farm. Pumps, tips, and tanks from 3 gallons all the way up to 10,000 gallons on hand. They can help with parts and accessories for the fertilizer and tillage equipment on your farm too. SprayAdvantage.com.
Apex Apparel is your quick turnaround apparel and promotional item shop in Grand Forks. If you're looking for direct-to-garment printing, embroidery work, or a huge selection of promotional items, come to Apex Apparel, your locally owned, family-run, quick turnaround apparel shop in Grand Forks.
The Ski and Bike Shop proudly supports our local high school athletes on the field, the court, and beyond. Just like sports, adventure starts with the right gear. The Ski and Bike Shop, where your next adventure begins.
Welcome back to our coverage of Red River football on this pregame show, KNOX Live Sports. This pregame show brought to you by Signature Graphics. We craft your vision, you watch it come to life, as well as True North Equipment. True to our values, driven by you. We are on pace for a 6 o'clock kick between Grand Forks Red River, the runner-up of the 2024 Dakota Bowl at the Class 2A level, and Kindred, the runner-up of the 2024 Dakota Bowl at the Class A level. Kindred getting moved up to AA this season, currently ranked number 2 in that division behind Minot North. This is the first conference game for both of these teams in the 2025 season. We'll continue to move along this pregame show and move on to another one of our segments, and that's our Tools to the Game. Brought to you by State Farm, Logan Karski Agency, protecting what matters most to you. Adrian taking a look, starting off with our visitors, and there are some names that really jump off the page, especially with the talent and the production that they've put forward this year, as well as the offers that they have off the field. Talk about some of the players for the Kindred Vikings.
Yes, Sam, we'll start first with Brooks Bacco, just a junior coming in for the Kindred Vikings, but what he brings to the table is just, it's almost otherworldly. There's been a lot of media focus, especially with the Inform down in Fargo, about kind of this tandem of players, Bacco and Starcevic. But it is quite incredible, honestly, the athletic prowess that they have on this Kindred Vikings team. And it is going to be a problem for Red River all night long. Bacco, will read through his size and his college offer sheet, which there is quite a few on here. He is a junior, comes in at 6'5", 205. He'll play in that wide receiver role and also as a defensive back. He will play 2 ways tonight, Sam. But some of these offers are just incredible. Oklahoma, Boomer Sooner, K-State, Duke, Wisconsin, Vandy, Michigan, as well as the in-state schools, of course. He is a legitimate Division I player. I mean, this is a kid that is probably going to play for a major, legitimate Division I program and probably going to play. You know, oftentimes guys will go and they'll maybe be rostered, and that's awesome. It's quite incredible. I think of like a James Johannesson from Fargo South for a few years. He made it to play for the Gophers, but didn't see the field a ton and ended up transferring back to UND. That is not the case with Bacco, Sam. He is a freak athlete, and he'll be a huge problem for Red River tonight. Expect them to play him probably with the spy, certainly with the man on him probably at all times tonight. Kind of their other threat in that passing game, a name that will be familiar to those of you who are who've listened to our broadcast reviews, Luke Starcevic. He's a 6'5", 260-pound tight end / defensive lineman. He's a 4-star recruit with an offers from University of Central Florida, Stanford, Vandy, Auburn, Oklahoma, Boomer Sooner, Michigan State, Mizzou, among others. I mean, this is like, we're just reading like it's from college football, Sam. I mean, it's just incredible the amount of interest that has been generated in this Kindred program for these two athletes. Starcevic's older brother, Jake, is committed to Army, going to school at West Point, playing, I believe, he's going to play tight end for them and our halfback potentially. But they have some serious major athletic prowess. And the other thing I think that's scary, obviously, is the offensive threat that they are. But on defense, they have a lot of ways to impact the game. I mean, Starcevic, expect him to play in the defensive line. I was watching some interviews and some media with him in the past, and he said, I don't know if I like to play offense or defense better, which is a very, very scary sight with a frame that big, Sam.
Very well said, Adrian. And what really stands out outside of those college offers that you don't see a whole lot in the state of North Dakota, some of those major Big 12, Big 10 programs, SEC programs for both of them, Oklahoma having offered both Bacco and Starcevic, but their frames still juniors only, so they still have time to put on potentially some height and certainly some weight as well. Like you mentioned, Starcevic 6'5", 260 pounds. Brooks Bacco 6'5", 205 pounds, a little bit more lean for a wide receiver and a defensive back as compared to Starcevic Varsovich, who's going to be lining up on the line from the tight end position and also on defense playing defensive line. So a lot of talent on the field for Kindred. And then also being featured in that offense will be Brock Johnson. Brock Johnson is the junior running back for the Vikings. Playing quarterback for Kindred is going to be a senior Gabe Whipple. Gabe Whipple will also play both ways as a defensive back on defense for Kindred. So those are our State Farm Logan Karski tools of the game for Kindred. Now taking a look at the tools for the home team, the Rough Riders. They had an offensive explosion last week against Williston. We had the privilege of covering that game for you on KNOX Live Sports. Will they continue the momentum that they had from last week into this week?
Yeah, Sam, I think it all starts with Reese Walters, obviously the quarterback, the most important man on your team. The Riders, of course, had Pierce Parks as a 3-year starter for them. And he had an excellent prep career. I mean, he led them to the Dakota Bowl his senior year and a 12-1 record. Is a phenomenal football player in your own right. So coming into this season, Red River is going, hey, who are we going to turn to here? What are we going to have on the field? Reese Walters steps up in a major way. He had a huge game last week. I think he had 250 passing yards and 3 touchdowns in the first half alone. Granted, a little bit different level of competition in the Williston Coyotes. But with that being said, for Walters to get into a rhythm in that kind of game, you know, I won't call it a tune-up necessarily, but in your last non-conference game, he's coming into this game hot. Sam, he can throw the ball well. He can deliver it well. They have a good mix of how they want to pass and run. They will kind of change it up a little bit. We were expecting a little bit heavier run last week. We saw them not afraid to go to the air, and talk about some of those big targets that he has downfield, Sam.
One of the players who stood out is the recipient of our PS Garage Doors Player of the Game last week against Williston. That's Max Manassa. He had a couple of touchdowns for the Rough Riders through the air, has that big playability, very shifty in open space. So in an article that came out this morning in the Grand Forks Herald talking about Red River briefly, about how the coaches are kind of drawing up plays for the quarterback, Reese Walters, taking the decision out of his brain necessarily. He's just playing within a system, and one of those players that they want to get to the ball to in space is Max Manassa. And then Matt Dosh, another player who you'll see get mixed in as well at the quarterback position, as Vern Muir talked a little bit about during his coach's comments with Ryan Cunningham. They have a system where if Reese Walters is in the game, you figure they're either going to hand it off to the halfback or throw it down the field. If Matt Dosh is in the game, it's more of that wildcat formation look. So Grand Forks Red River trying to continue that momentum from last week into this week. Last week they started off the game perfect. Their first 6 possessions, they had 6 touchdowns on the offensive side of the ball. So Red River trying to carry that momentum into this week against the number 2 team in the state of North Dakota high school football. That is the Kindred Vikings. Once again, this is our Tools of the Game, brought to you by State Farm Logan Karski Agency, protecting what matters most to you, whether that be home insurance, auto insurance, or life insurance. Contact Logan at State Farm Insurance. We're going to take another break here. Word from our sponsors. When we come back, we'll take a look at the keys to the game, continue to break down this matchup. Rough Rider Kindred, North Dakota high school football on KNOX Live Sports.
Rust, salt, and time are the biggest enemies for a fuel tank. Never fear, because Grand Forks Welding is here to take care of your enemies for you. We not only fix or patch your tanks, but we can custom fabricate any kind of replacement fuel tanks or service unit. Go to grandforkswelding.com.
Your family deserves clean, filtered water. High Plains Water offers Millennium Drink Water System, which delivers great-tasting water and also eliminates harmful impurities. Professionally installed and maintained by High Plains Water of Grand Forks. See them at highplainswater.com.
Big Jim's Tire is the area's #1 farm and ag tire supplier, and with harvest here, you want the best. Best tires, best service, and Big Jim's will get it done fast to get you moving again. Big Jim's Tire, Grand Forks.
Today, the PS stands for proper service for your home, farm, or business, which is what you'll get from the team at PS Garage Doors in Grand Forks. Whether you need a door fixed or just thinking about replacing what you already have, get your proper service at psgaragedoors.com.
Nothing feels or performs better than a properly fitted golf club. Whether it's irons, driver, or putter, call us today for your free club fitting. For over 30 years, the Golf Center in Grand Forks has been your club fitting leader.
Pro Ag in Grand Forks and Grafton carries the equipment and parts on hand to make your farming operation run smooth. They carry all major brands like Honeybee, Alloway, Amity, Artex, Hardy, Capello, Monosem, Pickett, Wilrich, and Black Ace. So whether you're trading in, buying, or just need parts, go to ProAgEquip.com to see everything Pro Ag has to offer.
We very much take a lot of pride in our work. Customer service has always been our number one.
We have the best materials. You're going to have the best people in the area to do the job.
If you can dream it up, we can make it happen.
Or head to gworkslf.com to get started.
From tears in your car, truck, boat, or farm equipment seats to making boat covers or complete restorations of the interior of your hot rod, Finest Auto Trim in Grand Forks can make the inside of your rides look brand new. Big or small, Finest Auto Trim can cover it all. To get a quote, go to finestautotrim.com.
Welcome back to Rough Rider Football on the Rivards Turf and Forage Grand Trailer Sales KNOX Live Sports Network. We are on pace for a 6 o'clock kick here at Cushman Field. A beautiful Friday night for high school football as the Rough Riders are taking on the Vikings from Kindred. This is the first conference matchup for both of these teams in the 2025 season. We're making our way through this pregame report, which is brought to you by Signature Graphics. We craft your vision, you watch it come to life. And True North Equipment, true to our values, driven by you. Sam Jensen will be doing color commentary this evening. Alongside me is the voice of the Rough Riders tonight. He'll be doing play-by-play throughout the course of our broadcast. Adrian Cummings, and behind the camera we have the eyes of our sports department. That's Joey Spanger. Adrian getting ready for this matchup. Let's take a look at another one of our elements before this game, and this is our Keys to the Game, brought to you by Jarrell Sports. See what's new for the season. Stop in today with hockey season right around the corner. If you need a new stick, you need new skates, whatever gear you need, stop at Jarrell Sports. Let's start off with the visitors, the Kindred Vikings. Talk about what they need to do to come away victorious as the favorite tonight against Red River.
Yeah, Sam, the Vikings got to do what they've done all season, which is stretch the field and make this an offensive football game. They're a big team. They can score a lot of points. Their quarterback in Whipple, has got a huge arm. We're watching him warm up here, and he is just throwing balls 25, 30, 40 yards with relative ease. So they're going to want to stretch the field. Obviously, Starcevic, a big target for them. He'll be a tight end, so he could probably play him in man tonight. But Brooks Bacco is going to be your go guy. So expect Red River to commit to probably one safety over the top, two depending on what kind of look you're going to get from Starcevic, or two depending on what kind of look you're going to get from Kindred and Whipple. But I expect that Kindred will try and stretch the field. They want to make Red River one-dimensional. This is a Rough Riders team that had a lot of success through the air. They do have a lot of good targets, and Reese Walters can throw that ball. The run game was a little bit slower than we expected it to be, a little less productive than we expected it to be last weekend. So look for Kindred to try and really make this into a passing game and allow themselves to defend more easily. Sam, what do you got on the Rough Riders side of the ball?
And that's a good segue into Kindred trying to make Red River's offense one-dimensional. They need to improve on the ground, and that's going to be one of their keys. Establish a ground game, whether that be with Noah Brandvold or another running back that the Red Rivers have in the backfield. And what that will do is it will control the clock for the Rough Riders. It will allow the Kindred offense to stay off the field, which is a major key against the Vikings. A very explosive offense from Kindred, the number 2 team in the state. So establish that ground game, work the clock, keep the ball out of the hands of the Kindred offense. And then on defense, avoid those explosive plays that can be demoralizing from a momentum perspective on your sideline, whether that be a kick return for touchdown, an 80-yard rushing touchdown, a long big hitter to one of their big playmakers down the field, whether that be Bacco, whether that be Starcevic. So avoiding the explosive play and establishing a ground game will be key for Red River to stay in this game today against Kindred.
Yeah, Sam, but I'll give one kind of little final shout-out in our key to the game. I think you have to let your big athletes be your big athletes tonight. We talked a little bit off-air about Matt Dosh, and we'll talk a lot about him probably throughout this broadcast. He's probably Red River's most versatile player. Like you said, he'll get some snaps as quarterback, maybe a little wildcat. He can grab a couple balls from the outside as a receiver, and then on the defensive side of the ball, he has been a game changer for the Rough Riders tonight, so you have to let Dosh do what Dosh is going to do. I expect that he'll probably play in a safety-type shadow role on Bacco tonight, and that's probably what they're going to need, but I expect that to be a great matchup here on Cliff Cushman Field tonight, Sam.
That'll be a matchup that we're going to watch every time Kindred's offense is on the field. Bacco against Dosh. Cam Irian out tonight, one of the key secondary players for the Rough Riders. That's going to hurt from the depth perspective for Red River. And then Adrian just talking a little bit more about this Rough Rider defense. They've been forcing turnovers throughout the course of the season, at least one per game up until this point. Are they going to be able to take the ball away from Kindred and force enough punts to allow
their offense an opportunity to stay in this game throughout the course of the matchup.
I think for Red River, their best case scenario is going to get a pick early in this game and try and shake Whipple a little bit, get him a little bit off of his game and show him that, hey, he is gettable. I think if the Rough Riders can pick up an interception, preferably in the first quarter, but even in the first half, they give themselves at least a little bit of that doubt for Whipple that maybe he just got to wait for one more second. This D-line is playing a little bit thin tonight, Sam. They're missing one starter up front from that the Minot Sentinels game, and then they lost another one or two. It kind of sounds like not sure if those guys will be ready to go for this game. So the Red Riders might be a little thin up front. The strength of this defense, of course, is their secondary. It kind of always has been this season. But you want to try and pressure Whipple as much as you can. The turnover is going to be critical. I'll be curious to see how much Kindred runs. Obviously, they have huge targets, but they know that Red River's D-line is maybe a little bit light right now. It's got an interesting underlying theme of the game, Sam.
Yeah, and we heard Vern Meir talk about that with Ryan Cunningham, some of the depth question marks that Red River is going to have specifically up front, and that's going to force the defensive play caller for the Rough Riders to get a little bit more creative with their pressure. He's like, hey, do we want to put a guy on both Starcevic and Baco to lock them up all game, or do we want to take away the time and space from the quarterback, Gabe Whipple? So that's a question mark for this Rough Rider defense that we'll keep an eye on throughout the course of this broadcast. Once again, this is our Keys to the Game brought to you by Jarrell Sports. See what's new for the season. Stop in today. We're making our way through the pregame show with first kick scheduled for 6 o'clock here at Cushman Field in Grand Forks. The pregame show brought to you by Signature Graphics and True North Equipment. We're going to take another break here. Word from our wonderful sponsors. When we come back, we will wrap up this pregame report on KNOX Live Sports.
It takes attention to detail. With your local Bryant dealer, you're getting someone who pays attention to the little things that make a big difference. And to keep your family cool this summer, it takes Bryant.
Connect with Thermal Air today, your Bryant certified dealer.
In Grand Forks, it's about more than just where you live. It's about the people you trust when life happens. At Logan Karski State Farm, we're proud to protect what matters most. I'm Logan Karski with State Farm, and we'd be honored to be your good neighbor.
When the lights go out, count on the pros. Bergstrom Electric in Grand Forks, the area's largest full-service electrical contractor. From commercial builds to homes, they're trusted for quality, safety, and award-winning work. Call today, 701-775-8897.
When you need the right part for your pickup, head to Northwood or call Mike's Custom Truck. Amanda will drop ship any part you need. Turbos, upgraded fuel pumps, Edge products, and more. Mike's Custom Truck, 587-6335.
When you're in pain, you need more than just a doctor. You need a problem solver. Count on All True Orthopedics and Sports Medicine and get back to what moves you.
Hey, this is Pastor Paul. I'd like to welcome you to Hope Church, especially if you're a person that doesn't have a place where you hang out spiritually. We would love for you to come and experience hope and find God. Hope Church, 9, 10:30, and 6 p.m. on Sundays. For more information, you can check out gfhope.org.
Pick 6 for $19.99, a perfect meal for two.
That's gotta rhyme.
Well, how about munching on Pick 6, my mouth going yap yap. People always staring at my wings, they go flap flap. Dave is so surprised because he didn't know I'd rap. Pick 6 meal for two for $19.99.
H&S Electrical Services is proud to support local high school sports. From homes to industry, we deliver safe, reliable electrical solutions. Locally owned and operated, our skilled team ensures quality and service you can trust. H&S, trusted in your homes and businesses.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to our coverage of Rough Rider football on the KNOX Live Sports Network, brought to you by Grand Trailer Sales and Rivard's Turf and Forage. We are making our way through this pregame report brought to you by True North Equipment, true to our values, driven by you, and Signature Graphics. We craft your vision. You watch it come to life. Getting ready for this matchup. First kick scheduled for 6 o'clock here at Cushman Field in Grand Forks. The Rough Riders of Red River taking on the number 2 team in the state at the Class 2A level. That is the Kindred Vikings. Kindred off to a 4-0 start this season. Going to run through their schedule up until this point, and then also take a look at Red River and how they fared against their opponents in their first 4 games of the 2025 season. Starting off with the visitors, Kindred, the number 2 team in the state. While we do this, we will pull up our drive for the title to give you a look at the state AA football poll, as well as the standings in the East region of Class 2A North Dakota High School football. This will be the first conference matchup for both of these teams in the 2025 season. Kindred, Week 1, beat Devils Lake by a score of 42-12. In Week 2, They won a thriller against the 2024 Dakota Bowl champions at the Class 2A level. This year they're moved up to AAA. That is West Fargo Horace. The Vikings were able to defeat the Hawks by a score of 34-32. That game was a thriller, with Horace scoring with 14 seconds remaining in quarter 4 to make the score 34-32. The Vikings secondary forced an incompletion on the 2-point attempt from Horace to pull away with the win. So that was a thrilling 34-32 win for Kindred in Week 2 against West Fargo Horace. Moving forward to Week 3, they defeated Bismarck St. Mary's by a score of 34-7, and then a week ago defeating the Blue Jays from Jamestown by a score of 49-6. Now taking a look at the home team, the Red River Rough Riders on the outside looking in the state 2A football poll in that top 5. That top 5 consists of Minot North, Kindred, Grand Forks Central, all undefeated to begin the 2025 campaign. And then a couple of teams with only one blemish on their record up until this point. That's Devil's Lake and Central Cass. Red River started the season against West Fargo Horace, one of the two common opponents that Red River and Kindred have had so far this season. That, of course, being Horace and Bismarck St. Mary's. Red River losing to Horace 34-7 to start the season at home. Kindred defeating the Hawks by a score of 34-32. So Red River starting off with an 0-1 start to the season. Then Week 2 were able to bounce back, beating St. Mary's 14-13 in Bismarck. Another one of those common opponents between these two teams. Red River beating St. Mary's 14-13. Kindred defeating St. Mary's by a score of 34-7. Red River bounces back to be 1-1. Then they fall to the number 1 team in the state on your screen on our drive for the title. That's Minot North. Rough Riders losing to the Sentinels by a score of 45-14, and then a week ago the Rough Riders were able to get back on track, find some rhythm offensively, defeating the Coyotes from Williston by a score of 49-12. The offense really exploding, especially in half number 1, starting off the football game 6 for 6 in their offensive possessions to begin the matchup against the Coyotes from Williston. Reese Walters in half number 1 only, coming away with 250 yards through the air and 3 touchdowns in the first half. So, Adrian, one of the big question marks taking a look at the schedule for both of these teams, how much stock can you put in those common opponents? As Kindred was able to beat Horace by a wider, beat Horace, Red River fell to the Hawks, and then beat St. Mary's by a wider margin.
And that's kind of the tricky part about common opponents, because Red River obviously has a tough game against Minot North. They turn around and then rebound and put up 49 on Williston pretty much without missing a beat. So I'll be interested to see the common opponents. You know, first game of the season, that's sort of maybe is what it is. You can kind of maybe write that one off, but I don't know. It's going to be an interesting football game tonight, Sam. I don't have a great read on it. It's just tough with the common opponent thing. I mean, obviously it helps that Red River is at home and they've had a week to prepare for this team, and I imagine that a lot of what they were doing last week against Williston is maybe what they wanted to practice, not necessarily exact plays, but similar sets and similar formations to what they want to put on the board against Kindred tonight.
Beautiful night for football here at Cushman Field as we're wrapping up this pregame report, brought to you by Signature Graphics and True North Equipment. 78 degrees in Grand Forks, North Dakota. Wind gust at 14 miles an hour coming out of the south, so don't think the elements will play too much of a factor on the turf at Cushman Field in this matchup between Grand Forks, Red River, and Kindred, the number 2 team, as you can see, at the 2A level of North Dakota high school football. This, once again, is the first conference matchup for both of these teams, so trying to start off conference play with a positive start for both the Vikings and the Rough Riders. And when you get into conference play, this is where teams start to kind of shake themselves out for the playoffs, trying to get home field advantage for rounds 1 and round 2 leading up to the Dakota Bowl. But for both of these teams, putting those thoughts aside, you got to imagine the mindset is putting one foot in front of the other and just take advantage of the opponent in front of you tonight.
Yeah, and I think very simply that the Rough Riders are just going to want to attack. I mean, whoever's in front of them, just do your job and get your guy tonight, and that's the kind of the mentality you have to have in this type of game. It's going to be a tough test for the Rough Riders, but I think that they can do it, Sam. We've talked about some of their keys, maybe what they want to do, who they're going to rely on tonight. Can they just put it all together and play good football? I think Red River's got as good a chance as any. You know, Kindred is a good team, and probably looking at the Rough Riders going, we might be able to smoke them, and maybe it's not too much of a game. And I think if Red River can just exploit that little edge, they have a decent shot tonight. I think it's going to be a good football game in front of us. I mean, 2 teams that are obviously premier. Both of these teams playing in the Fargo Dome last year for the Dakota Bowl. It's going to be a good matchup tonight, Sam. We're looking forward to calling it. We're happy to have you on KNOX TV with all of us tonight.
Yeah, very much making our way through this pregame report on schedule for a 6 o'clock kick here from Cushman Field. Adrian, we'll bounce around here, talk about one more topic before we send you off to our final break before kick between Red River and Kindred. And we heard Vern Muir talk to Ryan Cunningham about some of those depth issues up front for the Rough Riders, injuries playing a part in that situation. And where that really comes to bear is those short yardage situations, specifically what we want to talk about right here and now offensively for Grand Forks Red River. If they're able to get into those 3rd and 3, 3rd and 2 situations, will they be able to convert reliably on the ground with those depth issues up front?
Yeah, and it takes away an element of your game when you know that on 3rd and 1 or 2 or 3rd and short or whatever, however you want to say that, if you know that, hey, I don't got to worry about this is going to be fine, and you know what, we're just looking forward to the first down, it takes a little bit of it away, and I think Kindred is going to know about that. You know, let Red River pass a lot in the flats last week, Sam, so I'm curious if maybe they're not going to try and rely on that in some of their short yardage packages. But it's all about Walters having enough time. You know, he can scramble quite well and move very, very well for a quarterback. He's got a big frame and he can run. But, you know, if the snap delivery is good, which we saw some issues with last week, you need that snap delivery to be good, and you need your line to hold out for 4 or 5 seconds. Anything after that, it's anyone's bet. But I agree, this going to be a little different, a little bit thinner line, and defensively, Riders going to have to do some different things because I don't think they're going to be able to get pressure right up the gut. And that's just my 2-cent opinion.
Yep, Kindred certainly favored in this matchup, as you can see, ranked inside that top 5 in the football poll as we are getting ready for first kick. This is North Dakota High School football on the Rivards Turf and Forage Grand Trailer Sales KNOX Live Sports Network. We're going to try get our video feed back together. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we will have first kick. This is Rough Rider football on KNOX Live Sports.
Whether it's a golf course, your lawn, a pasture on your farm, cover crop, or even a food plot to help you get that big buck, Rivards Turf and Forage of Grand Forks has developed, mixed, and packaged the premium specialized seed you need for almost every application. Go to rivards.com.
Rivals on the ice, united in the stands, and everyone's geared up from Jarrell Sports Center and Hockey World. Hockey gear, fan apparel, Nodak Pride, we've got it all and more. Locally owned, 1004 South Washington Street. Shop local, shop Jarrell's.
Grand Trailer Sales in East Grand Forks is your go-to spot for enclosed utility, flatbed, and dump trailers in the Red River Valley. They have the biggest selection on hand of trailers with great pricing. If you're looking for parts, service, or simply to buy, GrandTrailersales.com.
Hey, this is Pastor Paul. I'd like to welcome you to Hope Church, especially if you're a person that doesn't have a place where you hang out spiritually. We would love for you to come and experience, hope, and find God. Hope Church, 9, 10:30, and 6 p.m. on Sundays. For more information, you can check out gfhope.org.
Pick 6 for $19.99, a perfect meal for 2.
That's gotta rhyme.
Well, how about munching on Pick 6, my mouth going yap, yap. People always staring at my wings, they go flap, flap. Dave is so surprised because he didn't know I'd rap, rap. Pick 6 meal for 2 for $19.99.
H&S Electrical Services is proud to support local high school sports. From homes to industry, we deliver safe, reliable electrical solutions. Locally owned and operated, our skilled team ensures quality and service you can trust. H&S, trusted in your homes and businesses.
As we welcome you back, folks, our national anthem is ongoing, so we will just take a quick pause and allow them to finish. We are having some technical difficulties. Going to try and make sure our camera is all good and set up for you. We had just popped out for us. Not sure what happened there. Send you another quick break. We'll be right back.
Today, the PS stands for proper service for your home, farm, or business, which is what you'll get from the team at PS Garage Doors in Grand Forks. Whether you need a door fixed or just thinking about replacing what you already have, get your proper service at psgaragedoors.com.
Nothing feels or performs better than a properly fitted golf club. Whether it's irons, driver, or putter, call us today for your free club fitting. For over 30 years, the Golf Center in Grand Forks has been your club fitting leader.
Ladies and gentlemen, as we welcome you back, we are getting closer and closer to kickoff here. Red River Rough Riders and the Kindred Vikings set to get introduced here shortly. You're having some technical difficulties. Sam Jensen's going to go take care of that for us quickly. My name, Adrian Cummings, happy to be on the broadcast with you tonight, folks. You are listening to our Rivards Turf and Forage Grand Trailer Sales broadcast. We just finished up the pregame show. That pregame show is brought to you by Signature Graphics. We craft your vision, and you watch it come to life. And True North Equipment, true to our values, we are driven by you. I was at Wake Up to UND this morning and heard John Onken, the president and CEO of True North Equipment, talking about some of the different stuff and the different technology that they have invested in. It is just so interesting to hear about all the different things that you wouldn't think that an egg producer would do. But, of course, John Onken and True North Equipment, one of the leaders in our region, certainly 10 stores up and down the Red River Valley and all over the place. Feel free to check them out. We thank them for their support of KNOX Sports. In front of us tonight, folks, a tough test for the Rough Riders. These Kindred Vikings are a seriously mean football team, and they're going to want to play seriously mean football. Red River's got to do their best to weather the storm up front and do what they can to try and overtake this Kindred team. They got to try and get at least a play early or something early that they can jump on top of. But the Rough Riders are certainly in for a good matchup tonight. I think they do have a good opportunity to maybe get to the Kindred Vikings, especially early. We'll see. We did not see who won the coin toss, but we will take a look at that, or we'll get that information here shortly in 1 second. Being introduced as a team now are the Red River Rough Riders. You can't see it, folks, but you will in just a second. They are adorned in all red jerseys, white and black stripes going down the legs, on the shoulder pads as well, red helmets. Rough Riders, very, very clean red uniforms. On the other side of the ball, the Kindred Vikings are wearing their typical blue pants, white jerseys with blue numbering, and blue helmets. The Vikings come up the road from Fargo. They come into town with the record of 4-0. The Rough Riders holding on to a 2-2 record tonight, and hoping both of these teams hoping to continue to add in the win column. We should have an excellent night of football ahead for us, folks. We'll send you another doing our best here to see if we can get everything got back on air for you. I'll do my best to call this game early, but we'll have to go radio style on this KNOX TV broadcast. We appreciate you hanging with us as we get going in this football game, folks. A beautiful night for football here at Cliff Cushman Field. Absolutely beautiful and sunny weather tonight. About 78 degrees right now, and it will settle down to about 68 after that sun creeps down. Like Sam had mentioned, we do have a little bit of wind filtering through coming from the south, so that will play on the right to left side of the field tonight. Be interesting to see if that's a factor. The Rough Riders are set to receive the ball here. I believe their plan tonight was for them to the plan for the Rough Riders tonight was to grab the ball if they could and see if they can come out and score, and they are certainly going to do their best to do that. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready for Rough Rider football here on KNOX TV. Set to kick it away are the Kindred Vikings. Their place kicker, number 32, I believe, Briar Gibbon. This ball is going to go. It's going to be a squib to the right side field and a short side on the 30-yard line. Rough River, tough tackle up top. Just a short return there, and the Riders are on the 39-yard line, set to get going here.
We're talking off air to begin. Before we started this broadcast, Grand Forks Red River wanting the ball to start this football game.
That's right.
They want the momentum early on. So let's see if this offense can keep the momentum on the Red River sideline and keep the fans engaged here to begin this football matchup.
Trotting out in their full red uniforms and white numbers are the Rough Riders. Reese Walters is going to take this first snap from the shotgun, looking heavy on the right side of the formation. Two receivers to the far side, running back to his left. As they look to the sideline and get the play call from Coach Sen. Going to give him a little bit different look. Running back shifts now off his right rear side. Walters going to step back, quick pass to the far side. This one goes complete and slinks forward for a gain of about 3 or 4. So the Rough Riders looks like they're going to try and establish a groove early. We saw them doing this kind of short passing game before, Sam, in this last game against Williston. So look for them to supplant that short pass in place of the run.
And we talked about that, just the play callers for Rough Riders, taking away some of the decision-making from Walters, getting some easy throws under his belt to start the game, build some confidence, and try to stretch out this Kindred defense east to west as well.
From the shotgun is Walters. Riders, 3-yard gain, 2nd and 7 from their own 42-yard line. Snap is high. Walters fields it nicely. Handed off underneath. Nice run here. Grinding forward for some yards. Number 7, Noah Brandvold, and he'll pick up another 3. So the Riders early with a 3rd down, 3rd and 4 to go from their own 45-yard line. Nice couple plays for the Rough Riders early, Sam.
Right on schedule. Vern Muir talked about that in his conversation with Ryan Cunningham. They talked on a lot of subjects, but just keeping this offense on schedule, not playing through behind the sticks, you're more than happy to get 2 to 3 to 4-yard chunks at a time against this Kindred defense.
Play comfortable and be comfortable, I think, is kind of what they want to do, and they certainly can tonight. They have no problems. Walter underneath center, heavy package to the right side. He's going to stretch pass. This one he's going to roll out. Bootleg, doesn't have an option downfield. He's going to take off. This is Dosh, Dosh gets near that line to gain. It'll depend on the spot.
Looks like he's going to be 1 yard short, and Adrian, we talked about that during the pregame show, bringing Dosh in those running situations for the quarterback, showcasing his ability. Looked like he's going to be taken down at the line of scrimmage, still able to get 2 yards, and now this makes Red River make a decision. Looks like they're going to go for it here on 4th and short.
I like the aggression from the Rough Riders here as they're going to try and just bumble and stumble forward. Dosh is going to break out to the right side, but is just not going to be able to get that one. So Kindred stands tough on their first real defensive test of the night. And I was going to make a note, Sam. They've had a couple big gang tackles. I think 3 guys got toshed the first time, and then another 2 on that second run play. So the Riders gamble on 4th and short and do come up without the ball.
I think Baco's going to come away with credit for the tackle there, but a lot of the credit belongs to that defensive line for Kindred there on that 4th down stop, just clogging any potential lanes to run through, gaps on the offensive line for Dosh on that attempted quarterback sneak. Had to try bounce it to the outside, and good job containing the edge there was Baco, and that's a turnover on downs. Kindred taking over with pretty good field position on the Rough Rider side of the field.
And here is our first look at this potent Kindred Vikings offense. They're going to go spread early, 1 man in the backfield, but 2 receivers on either side. Starcevic and Baco on the far side. In the shotgun now is Whipple. He takes that snap low, fakes the handoff, shovels it underneath to Starcevic. He's got a nice 8-yard gain. Just ran a little curl route and kind of sat down right there, Sam, and picks up a big completion early. This one might even be good for the full 10. And it's going to be second and very, very short for the Vikings, so they find success early targeting their big man, Starcevic.
Starcevic just finding a soft spot in the zone there. Good. That was the number 1 option for the quarterback. Whipple made no doubt about it, and now it makes it for an easy 2nd down and short here for the Vikings.
They're going to pitch to Baco. He's going to work on the outside left side. He's going to be nearly caught by a Red River defender, but we're going to get maybe a block in the back from Kindred here as he mumbles forward for what will be a 1st down. It's a 5-yard gain for Brooks Baco, but we will see what that penalty is.
I think this is going to come back. It's either going to be a holding or blocking from behind, and it will be
a
blocking from blocking the back. So that's going to push Kindred back 15 yards. Now going to have to operate from behind the sticks. We thought it was an easy moving of the chains with the 2nd down and short, but a penalty, one of those things where who's going to win the penalty battle early, biting Kindred early.
Yeah, and Red River had a nice chance to wrap up there, and the defender, I did not catch his number, just got 2-handed shove in the back and kind of went the other way, and Brooks ended up rolling around on the edge there. But a nice break for the Rough Riders early. Can they get Kindred to 3rd and long, Sam? From the shotgun now is Whipple, through man on his right. He gets that ball. It's low. He's going to roll to the right side, look for a target downfield. He goes deep. This one does end up in Baco's hands. He ends up grabbing that one. It's going to be good for a 1st down as he works forward. It's interesting, Sam. He just went to the line to gain. They've got a couple of these plays where guys are curling inside and just sort of sitting down. We'll see if the Red River defense adjusts to playing in just a tish tighter. Kindred 1st and 10 from the Rough Rider 34-yard line.
Good showcase of route running early from Baco and Starcevic on his catch earlier. Interesting to see Whipple immediately upon taking that snap rolling out to his right to avoid pressure, creating more time and space for himself, but at the same time keeping his eyes down the field. 1st down and 10 for the Vikings.
All the men on the right side here, 1 man off his back right hand. Whipple from the shotgun is going to hand this one up and underneath. This one's going to go for a couple yards. It might go for a couple more. He's got a 1st down. Working on the outside. That's number 3, Sawyer Hesse. He's near the end zone. Doesn't get it. The Rough Riders just drag him out of bounds at the 2-yard line. But a big play for Hesse there. We'll see if we can take another look at that one, courtesy of American Family Insurance, Tyler Nagel Agencies. You see him just curling on the outside, and he goes and he gets just a little open field speed.
That's a 30-yard rush there from Sawyer Hess. We're going to bring us back to the action here. Team is still in the huddle. Apologize for this slight delay in video feed, but a great run there from Hess, having space on the outside. Got to give credit to Matthew Dosh for not giving up on the play. 1st and goal here for Kindred.
Man on either side. Heavy set on the left side of the line. Starcevic on the outside. He's going to chip block. This one's going to go up and underneath. And strolling into the end zone is Miles Thieglis for the Kindred Vikings. So Kindred strikes first. They go forward on a couple plays, backward on one, and then ended up in the end zone with 8:39 in this first quarter. Kindred is up 6-0, moving the ball. Big play, big run by Hesse. That's kind of where that drive was built on, Sam.
Let's take a look at that replay. Kindred making this look easy on their first offensive possession of the game, through the air and on the ground. Pounding this one in is Miles Thielgis, and that will give Kindred a 6-0 lead as they're lining up for the point after attempt.
The place kicker now, Graham Hesse. Ball is up, kick is up, and it is good through the uprights. So Red River gets the ball, comes out early, wants to play aggressive, just unable to capitalize on a 4th and short situation. Kindred turns around and goes right down the field for 49 yards and a quick score. The Vikings are up 7-0 on the Rough Riders. You're listening, you're watching KNOX TV, and I think we'll keep it here, folks. Happy to have you on this broadcast. Be very interested to see how the Red River responds to this one, Sam.
Red River offense with a 4-and-out to start the football game. Defense comes out. Looks like they were holding their own, just focused on the passing element from that Kindred offense, and Kindred showing their multifaceted offense, being able to move the ball effectively through the air that we saw in the early stages of that drive, and then finishing with that big run from Hess, and then Kindred's number 9 also putting that in the end zone. That's Miles Thielgis, the junior for Kindred, putting the Vikings up 7-0 early on our All True Health System scoreboard.
Yeah, and what was kind of most interesting, Sam, is like you said, they used both elements. I mean, they didn't really, they had a couple like 10-yard passes or so, and then kind of that big run is the one that cracks it open, but showing that they can maybe score from either side or threaten from either side. It's going to be tough for the Rough Riders to defend. As we get ready for the place kick here, first one was short. Second one is going to make it a little bit further, but it's a little bit of a duck ball. It is kind of grabbed by Rough Rider Brody Neal. He gets a hand on it. He's able to go. Brody Neal working to the right side. Turns that one out to the 28-yard line there. So a little bit of an odd kick. The place kicker for the Vikings is number 30, Tanner Mengi.
Good awareness there from Neal. It looked like if he wasn't going to get a hand on that, that was going to settle itself down inside the 10-yard line. So good hand-eye coordination to stop the momentum of the ball, pick it up, and then carry it out past the 25, where Red River will try find some more success on their second offensive possession of the game.
We'll see what they can do with Walters. He's playing now from the shotgun. To his left is Brandbold. As Kindred shifts up front, and the Riders are going to get a false start. So before they get this drive going, Sam, they do have to take a couple steps backwards. It'll be 1st and 15 from their 23-yard line, I believe.
Can have that. We talked about during the first possession for the Rough Riders feeling comfortable moving the ball in 3-4 yard increments, but when you're operating from behind the sticks, now you're going to need more of an explosive play for a chance to move the chains in the second possession for the Rough Riders.
Snap is low. Walters fields it. He pump fakes, and he decides to take this one for himself. Works forward and picks up about 3 or 4 yards there. Thought he had a quick option, but saw some pressure coming from this Kindred, and they're going to play 3 up front, at least for now. I'll be interested to see kind of how they want to defend. But those 3 up front, Sam, are really nothing to mess with. You got Luke Starcevic. We've talked enough about him, but Brody Mauk also up front, listed at 6'1", 250, so they have some serious size in the defensive line. From the shotgun now is Walters looking to the far side to get the play call.
And that last play, Adrian Starcevic was right in the face of Walters and wisely did the Red River quarterback pull it back down, take some positive yards. Now it's a 2nd down and manageable.
This snap is going to be high, but Walters fields it rolling to the right side. Quick out. He gets that one in the hands of Max Manassa, but Manassa is going to go for another 4 or 5 yard gain there. Manassa looks like he slipped down, but he might have had a chance, Sam, to roll forward for a couple more yards after that reception.
And Manassa is one of those players you want to get him ball in space. It looks like he slid on the turf. Ball wasn't exactly on target where Walters would have liked it, but it's still a 3rd down and manageable here for Red River.
3rd and 7 for the Rough Riders from their 32-yard line. 3rd and 5, from their 32-yard line. Line to gain is that 38. 3rd and 6, Walters fields a snap. This one's a little high, but he does well. He's got Starcevic chasing after him. This one's going to be picked off by the defensive lineman. Mauk, Walters did not see him, and Mauk is able to grab that ball from his spot on the defensive line. So the Rough Riders on 3rd and manageable turn the ball over. Walters is taking a lot of pressure from Starcevic there, Sam, and I'm sure he just got a little flustered and wanted to get rid of that ball. I did not see his downfield target.
Looked like a broken screenplay there from the Rough Riders as Walters was facing immediate pressure, and the Kindred outside linebacker sensing a screen backed off the pressure. Walters had a little bit more time to throw, throwing it right into the hands. A big man interception. Not every week you're able to see that. Brody Mauk comes away with the turnover for the Vikings, and they're in premium real estate here for their 2nd offensive possession.
Vikings at the 25-yard line, just a couple steps away from our RBB Electric red zone. In the back now is Whipple, shotgun man to his right, 3 receivers to the far side. He's going to fake the handoff and roll to the right side. He's got no options. He just flips this one short and underneath. That goes to number 8. The receiver there, Miles Thielgis, the man with the touchdown already. Pounded in from 2 yards earlier, but they get him kind of on just a little bit of a rollout play. Gain of 2 for the Kindred Vikings. They're on the 23-yard line now.
Always interested to see the strategy of the drop back for quarterbacks at this level of high school football. You see Whipple immediately rolling out to his right. I think Kindred has a big enough and strong enough offensive line where he can just do that traditional 3-step drop. But it's built into their offense where he rolls out to his arm side to the right, keeps his eyes down the field. Very confident senior veteran quarterback is Gabe Whipple for the Kindred Vikings.
Be curious to see if Red River will end up putting a linebacker on the outside in a little bit of a contain role. Man in motion now. It's Baco fake up and underneath, and this one gets stuffed by the Rough Riders on the tackle there. Number 21, the big man, Jack Helgeson, 6'3", 230, Sam, and a big play for the Rough Riders as they put Kindred back a yard now, 2 actually. Going to be 3rd and 10 for the Vikings at the 25-yard line.
Excellent play there by Helgeson. Kindred trying some misdirection, throwing Baco in formation, faking the pitch to him to the near side, handing it off to the quarterback Hess, but there to meet him right away is Helgeson, and the Rough Riders are going to need Helgeson to have a big game today on defense to contain this explosive Viking offense.
Rough Riders with the chance to stop this Kindred Dread drive in his tracks. We got a false start.
Looks like the receivers went a little too early on
both
the far
of them.
side of the field.
In lockstep, Sam. They both took off.
A good split second before the snap, so this makes it 3rd and even longer for Kindred, moving back to their own 31-yard line in between the 30 and the 31 with the line to gain at the 15. So 3rd and long upcoming, big opportunity for this Rough Rider defense.
And a real opportunity for the Rough Riders is I don't think Kindred has really got a kicking game, Sam, but it's going to be 3rd and 15 for Kindred here from the 30-yard line. Red River's got to defend. We'll see what they do. Dosh is a safety over the top. Otherwise, we're looking at mostly man here, just single high safety. Dropping back and passing is Whipple. Whipple unable to get that ball complete. His intended target, number 8, Theelgis, just unable to come up with it. Quick time ball, Sam. He wasn't reading there. That was kind of a design play. It was going to go to him pretty much no matter what. But the Rough Riders now put Kindred on 4th down, 4th and 15. And it looks like Kindred is going to offense is going to stay on the field here, which maybe indicates the strength of their kicking game, Sam.
Kind of a no man's land here. 30 at the 30-yard line of Red River would be a very long kick at this level of North Dakota high school football. So Kindred's like, hey, why not? That last play, trying to find a soft spot in the zone to make it a 4th down and even more manageable. But now an even more big of an opportunity for this Rough Rider defense. 4th and long.
Snap is up, and there's some pressure back from the Rough Riders, but he might have a chance to get this one. Whipple's going to roll. He's going to get a block downfield. Whipple's going to get that 1st down. Wow, the scrambling ability of Whipple. Red River had pressure inside, Sam, but no one to contain, and Whipple's going to run for a big 1st down on 4th and 15.
Taking a look at this replay, Red River not able to get home. Bringing the blitz was Oliver Piper on the near side, but great job with Whipple using his legs, directing traffic for his blockers in front of him, and Kindred able to pick up a back-breaking 4th down and long if you're a fan of the Rough Riders.
Red River's got to find a wave, Sam. That was a good opportunity to get a stop here, but Kindred now all the way down on the 8-yard line in our RBB Electric red zone. 5:57 remain in the first quarter of this football game. The Vikings are up 7-0 and looking to draw more blood. Snap is down. This one's going to be a handoff up and underneath. Working outside. Big running back running right through someone. This will be close.
Good physical run there from Miles Theelgis, a Red River defensive back, getting ran over, able to keep the ball carrier for Kindred out of the end zone, but that's a physical run. Miles Theelgis putting his stamp on the Red River defense.
He just ran right through Tostenson, Sam, and the low man wins in that situation, and Tostenson maybe just a little bit too high here. Kindred now at the 1-yard line, 2nd and goal from the 1. Red River got to try and bow up here and get a stop, Sam.
Got to expect more power formation. Kindred able to convert on their first possession this close to the goal line. Would be surprised if they put this one in the air.
I agree. Backs on either side from the shotgun is Whipple. He's going to hand it off underneath, and Rough Riders do get a stop. Nice tackle there. Good wrap-up, number 11, Jonah Pence, making his presence felt, Sam.
Good form tackle there from the junior linebacker for the Rough Riders, and it's now 3rd down and goal from the 3-yard line, so the Rough Riders still have potential to bow up here. Bend, don't break would be a great momentum-building drive here for the Red River defense if they were able to force a turnover on downs.
3rd and 2 now from the 2-yard line. Same formation for the Kindred Vikings, heavy on the left side, backs at either side. And this one's going to go hand it off up and underneath, and it's going to be another stop for the Rough Riders. They're bowing up, certainly, Sam. 4th and 1, almost guaranteed go for it territory here from Kindred. As the Riders get 2 big stops in the running game, Kindred just trying to go power to that left side, but unable to get anywhere on these couple plays that they've ran in tight, Sam.
Once again, that's Pence meeting the ball carrier for Kindred in the gap, teaming up with Matthew Dosh in the secondary. Nice form tackle. Pence bowing up for the Rough Riders defensively. This is another big 4th down. Kindred able to convert from 4th and long. How are they going to convert in this short yardage scenario?
Watch for the wheel to the right side, and if you're a defender, do your job and cover your man. Whipple in the backfield now, running back on either side. He's going to roll to the right. He's maybe got a pitch option. He's going to try and cut it upfield, and he's going to get in. Oh, Rough Riders had him wrapped up, but Kindred again converts. Whipple wisely there. He had the pitch route to the outside and decided to cut it upfield, but he grinds that one in for another touchdown. Kindred up 13-0 with 4 minutes coming off of that turnover, Sam.
Let's take a look at that replay. Just a speed option to the far side. Whipple electing to hold on to it. Looked like he was going to get stopped at the goal line, but a good second effort from the senior quarterback from Kindred, staying up on his legs, good lower body strength, able to lunge forward for the touchdown.
And they're going to go for 2 here. This play is broken. It's going to be wide open. So Kindred fakes the PAT and goes for 2 there. Lead now 15-0 on our Ultra Health System scoreboard. Well-designed play, Sam. Jailbreak. The guys were headed for the ball, but Kindred leaked a couple guys in the end zone there. They're up big on the Rough Riders early, Sam. Let's see what they can do. Let's see if Red River can maybe find some offensive spark here. That's some good plays on defense there. Folks, this is a media timeout. We will send it to you to a quick timeout brought to you by Apex Apparel and Big Jim's Tire. We'll be right back in just 1 second.
Open all year round to the public, Eagles Crest offers space for holiday parties and family get-togethers. And of course, daily specials, appetizers, and all your favorites, including Sunday brunch buffets. Come in for the view and delicious meals at Eagles Crest Grill.
When the lights go out, count on the pros. Bergstrom Electric in Grand Forks, the area's largest full-service electrical contractor. From commercial builds to homes, they're trusted for quality, safety, and award-winning work. Call today, 701-775-8897.
Ready to launch your future? At Northland Community and Technical College, opportunity starts here. Train for high-demand technical and skilled trades, or start with an affordable Associates of Arts degree and transfer with ease. Visit northlandcollege.edu.
As we welcome you back, Riders set to receive the ball. This kick, another, going to be a little longer. This place kicker's gotten a little bit longer as Brody Niels kind of misses the fielding there. He's got to pick this one up from the 1. He's looking at a whole lot of blue in front of him. He's going to grind forward. A nice 15-yard return for him, considering that it started on the 1-yard line there. But it's kind of the interesting part about a place kicker that maybe doesn't kick a traditional ball. You don't really know where to field it from.
And maybe some deja vu there for some hopeful Rough Rider fans. Just a week ago, a 99-yard kick return for touchdown from Max Manassa, letting that ball pass him from his position as the kickoff returner, fielding it at the 1. Not so much luck this time from Red River's kick return team. Now they're going to operate inside their own 20, looking to at least pick up a first down, take away some victories to build some momentum for this Red River offense.
Riders got the length of the field to go, starting in their 17-yard line. It's going to be 1st and 10. Walters in the shotgun, looks to pass, decides to roll. Cubs up and underneath to the middle and runs into a couple Kindred defenders. 2 in on the tackle there at 50 and 55. That's Lincoln Swenson and Tannen Johnson, both captains for this Vikings team, getting the big stop on defense there. Walters grinds forward for just 1 yard.
And you can see Kindred just really making an effort to make this Rough Rider offense one-dimensional. They are blocking all of these running lanes right now. Reese Walters is going to have to step up and make some plays with his arm if Red River is going to have any intention of moving this ball efficiently down all the way down the field.
Play call coming in from Sen now. Walters in the shotgun, 2 men stretched out on the right side. He's going to drop back and pass. Looks to his left, actually. Completes it up and underneath. Matt Dosh with a nice grab there. Easy first down for the Riders. And we got a little bit of a rhythm moving here, Sam. Riders moving the chains finally tonight.
First down of the day for the Rough Riders. Good job by the offensive line to give Walters time to throw. Great route there from Dosh to the outside. 1st down and 10 for the Rough Riders from their own 31-yard line. High snap. Walters is going to have to pick this one up. Is he going to be able to throw it away? High IQ play just out of reach of the defensive back, Sawyer Hess for Kindred. So the Rough Riders able to avoid disaster, and those are some errors that we're seeing spill over from last week, the snapping game for this Rough Rider offense.
The Riders wanted to move quickly there, and I like that decision. But, again, the snap issues. That ball is a clear 2 feet over Walters' head. He picks it up and has Starcevic just breathing down his neck, but wisely does get rid of it. Riders lucky to have just 2nd and 10 here from their 30-yard line. With it now from the shotgun as Walters looks to the sideline.
Cannot understate the importance of Walters being able to pick that up, roll out to the near side, get out of the pocket and throw it away, avoid an intentional grounding. Still makes this a 2nd down and manageable for Red River.
Red River likes this formation. They're going to run with it again. Brandvold's going to kick to the outside. He might have a couple yards. He's going to cut upfield, and he spins out, and he's got some yards. 1st down easily for Brandvold. Brandvold works to the sideline there, and that's a nice pickup for him. A 20-yard run for Brandvold to flip the field. Riders finally enter Kindred territory. Brandvold looked like he was going to get wrapped up there, Sam, right near the line of scrimmage. He cuts upfield and does a nice job extending that play with his legs.
Rough Riders trying to move with some speed here, so we're not going to try to take away any point of the action, but a good job by Brandvold to get through that first wave of defenders. Bring you back to the action here, looking deep down the field is Walters, but it's going to fall innocently to the turf. Incomplete pass after the big rush from Noah Brandvold.
In a nod to a different Red River, the Riders looking to stretch the field with a little bit of air raid. What they did last week, they had a couple big hitters. They want to go quickly at Manassa, and I think part of that is trying to keep Kindred honest here. 2nd and 10 from the Kindred Vikings 49-yard line.
Expect Red River to keep the ball in the air, and will their offensive line be able to hold up against this Viking rush?
With the ball now, Walter's going to hand it off to Brandvold underneath. He cuts upfield, works forward. He's grinding. Oh, my apologies. I caught the offensive lineman there. Brandvold gets tackled for a no gain here, so it's going to be 3rd and 10 from the 10-yard line. I think if you're whatever, you go for it here again, Sam, and try and keep the pressure on Kindred should you not convert on 3rd down.
You got to think so in plus territory, already trailing
Agreed.
by 2 possessions. Just try to make this a 4th down and manageable. Don't have to get all 10. If you're able to pick up 6, maybe 7 yards, that'll make the decision easier for Vern Muir and this Red River coaching staff.
2 safeties over the top. 2 receivers on our far side, our near side, one on the far side. Running back to his left. Another snap overhead. Walters is going to field this one, shake off a linebacker that's pressing. He's going to just flip this one upfield, and again, another smart play for Walters. So high football IQ, but he is having trouble, and
this
we're
is
going to
a
get a late flag.
Could be unnecessary roughness call after the whistle, as Walters was running out of bounds. Maybe he was hit after he had reached the boundary. I was also keeping my eyes downfield as Walters was able to keep the play alive, and it will be a blocking from the back against Red River. And we'll see if Kindred will accept or decline this penalty. It looks like they're going to accept. It still will be a loss of down with that block from behind. So this should make the decision easier for the Rough Rider coaching staff for them to bring.
Matt Dosh probably is going to boot this one, Sam.
You would think so. This is going to be not a loss of down, actually, at least according to our.
Isn't that dead ball? No?
That's at least my understanding, but still on our yardage marker on the far side of the field, we see 3rd down. So Rough Rider offense has another opportunity, 3rd down and forever from their own 41.
3rd and 20 for the Rough Riders now. Walters needs a clean snap right in his numbers. He gets one just a little high, but fields it easily. Kindred's got some good pass defense up and underneath. The Riders complete that ball, running through someone as we get another foul behind the play. Riders a nice pickup of 15 on the reception there. I believe it's number 18, Oliver Piper. As we had an offensive lineman kind of looking around with his hands up in the air, so he might have taken a block in the back or something. We'll see. Both flags, 2 officials had it down, Sam, so I'm certain they'll get the call right here.
This will be against Red River. Ryan Ward throwing his hands up in the air, wondering what else he can do from a mechanics standpoint. That's going to be a holding against Red River, and it looked like Piper had already made his way past the point where the offensive lineman for Red River was blocking. So this is going to push Red River even further back, and it's going to be a 3rd down and 30 upcoming for the Rough Riders if Kindred indeed does accept the penalty, which they do. So Red River being pushed even deeper inside their own territory.
And the Riders, Sam, just shooting themselves in the foot on back-to-back plays. I mean, the first one, Walters at least gets it out and escapes without harm. But there you got a 15-yard gain from Piper, and you're just not able to do anything with it. Rough Riders got to play cleaner football here in the closing stages of this first quarter. Walters back, 2-man to the far side as we get a timeout here, and probably pretty well taken, I would say. This timeout brought to you by Big Jim's Tire and Apex Apparel. Mr. Jensen, are we going to take a break or keep it here?
We'll take a break. We'll be right back. This is Rough Rider Football on KNOX Live Sports.
Open all year round to the public, Eagles Crest offers space for holiday parties and family get-togethers. And of course, daily specials, appetizers, and all your favorites, including Sunday brunch buffets. Come in for the view and delicious meals at Eagles Crest Grill.
If you've got an electrical emergency, call RBB Electric. We are your 24/7 electrician. Your call will always be answered by an RBB employee ready to help 24/7. RBB Electric is on time every time. Your time is valuable, and we don't waste it. RBB Electric always calls ahead to schedule service. We are online always. If you suffer from slow download speeds, call our certified network designers and installers. On call, on time, and online. RBB Electric won't leave you in the dark. RBB Electric, your 24/7 electrician.
As we welcome you back to KNOX TV, 3rd down and 30 to gain for the Rough Riders. Back-to-back block in the back penalties pushes them in reverse. 3 receivers to the far side, 1 on the near side here, running back to the right side. Brandvold's just going to block here, and he does. Chip Walter's going to work upfield and just throw this ball away. As that play goes nowhere quickly, Kindred had, I think, 7 in pass protection, so that's kind of what you get. And you get your optimal defensive look. Red River backs themselves up with a few penalties and kind of gives Kindred the liberty to do whatever they want to do defensively. And obviously they're going to defend the pass in that situation.
Really well said, Adrian. In a game where Red River is the underdog against one of the top teams in the state, that is Kindred, you really do not have that liberty to shoot yourselves in the foot with penalties. Looked like they were building some rhythm, and we talked about it off air. The pass protection from Red River early on, pretty good. They got to figure out the snaps, and maybe they'll be able to move the ball more effectively down the field. This is a high punt. It will be in favor of Kindred. Takes a Red River bounce, crosses over to the Viking side of the field, but not by much. It will be downed right near the 50-yard line where Kindred will start their third offensive possession of the game.
Ryan Dosh with just a rare misfire there, Sam. He's actually quite a good punter. We saw him last week warming up, booting the ball regularly 40 yards through the air, maybe even 50 at times. But just a little bit of a miscue there, and I think that maybe is a good summary of how the Riders have played this first quarter. Just a couple miscues. Reese Walters throws an interception to defensive lineman. You don't see that. A couple big penalties, maybe a missed punt. Just a couple tackles that were just right on the fingertips. They're just unable to get.
And talk about the last defensive possession, too. You have a 4th down and 15, 4th down and short, have the ball carrier down at the line of scrimmage.
Yep.
Will the defense be able to take advantage of these opportunities this possession?
2 receivers on the near side, 1 running back to his left. Whipple's going to take the snap and roll now to his weak side. He's going to flip this one underneath. Nice form tackle there. Wrapping up is Max Manassa. Good tackle, and that's going to be actually a short loss. Graham Hesse was the receiver, Miles Thielgis.
Great play there from Manassa, just staying on his man, the linebacker in coverage against the running back for Kindred. This time rolling out to the near side to his left is Whipple. Against his arm side, just goes to his check down back looking for Thielgis, but tight in coverage was Manassa. So Red River making Kindred operate just a little bit behind the sticks here in their third offensive possession.
And if the Rough Riders can string together their 4 good defensive plays, Sam, they're fine. They can stop this team. They just have to do it on every down. The snap's going to be low, handed off underneath. This one's going to go to the running back, grinding with it and moving into space. Nice shifty back. He's going to be nearly gone as Dosh is going to try to grab him, and at the last second he cannot. So Kindred strikes from 52 yards out. Sawyer Hesse pushes the Vikings on the scoreboard, now up to 21 as he has a big touchdown run. Again, Sam had him right in the middle of the field. Opportunity to tackle him and just unable to wrap up there. Kindred pops out to a big lead early.
Take a look after getting through that first defensive line, just the secondary pressure not there at the second or third level for Red River, and you see that breakaway speed there from Sawyer Hesse. And Kindred, after being forced to operate from behind their own sticks, just puts it on the ground, and they're able to punch it in from 50 yards out.
Yeah, and Hesse, just a nice shifty back, Sam. He just moved well, he cut decisively, and it's kind of just tough to defend. Rough Riders likely going to get a false start here, nearly blocked, but this one does go through the upright. Kindred now pops out 22-0 on our Ultra Health System scoreboard. Rough Riders got a couple more questions and answers early in this one, Sam, and they wanted to be the hammer in this game, but right now, unfortunately, they're looking like the nail.
Yeah, unfortunate. Not the start that Red River was looking for here on their home field. Kindred a perfect 3 for 3 on their offensive possessions. Red River offense still looking to get in a rhythm, not being helped with the errant snaps and the flags from their offensive line. So Rough Riders still can't let the lows get too low. They're going to have to stay with this, stick to the game plan. Still a lot of football left. Try claw their way back. Red River is still very much in this football game.
Oh, absolutely they are. If they can finally sustain a little bit of offense, Sam, they've had good plays. And actually, I think more is to be said about their defense. Their defense has played pretty well considering they've gotten some stops. Kindred has had negative plays. They just need to string the couple together and really try and maybe just get them stopped in their place. I think once Kindred gets out of the groove, it does give the Rough Riders a good opportunity to get back into this game. It starts now, Sam.
Starts, you know what, a big play on special teams certainly wouldn't hurt. Hopefully Grand Forks Red River back to return for the Rough Riders is Caden Tostenson. And then on the far side of the field is Brody Neal. Expect another squib-style kick here from the Kindred kickoff unit. Taking care of the kicking duties for the Vikings. This is number 30, Tanner Mangy.
Riders set to receive the first kick that actually looks normal. Neal's going to field this one on a short hop. It just dies in front of him, picks it up near the 12-yard line. He's going to shuffle. He's going to buffle. He's got a couple yards here. Nice breakout little run from Neal there. Gets up to the 33-yard line, so a nice 20-yard return. Red River's got to establish something on this drive, Sam. You got to leave the field with no less than 2 first downs in this drive, and preferably you got to get deep into Kindred territory. I think that they look to pass maybe short. The run game has been okay, but try and spread the field early and maybe put Kindred back on their heels a little bit and pass, bro.
And Kindred is succeeding early on with their defensive strategy, trying to make the Rough Riders a one-dimensional offense through the air. Brandvold has had one big breakout run where he was able to avoid a tackler for a 20-yard rush. But I would expect the Rough Riders to try establish more of a run game here in their third possession.
The short pass comes. It goes to Manassa. He's going to be past the line again, shuffles a man. He breaks upfield. He grinds forward for 6 or 7 yards. Nice run by Max Manassa there. Good start for the Rough Riders. They pick up, going to be spotted as 9 on the scoreboard now out to the 40. It is going to be 9 to their own 42-yard line. Nice big play here, and they're going to move quickly.
And that's a pass that's essentially a rush, getting it to one of your great playmakers, Max Manassa. Looking to the sideline now is Walters for the next play call on this second down and short for the Rough Riders. Manassa just fun to watch in space. Very shifty wide receiver for the Rough Rider offense. 3
receivers to the far side, 1 on the near side, who is Manassa. Brandvold started off right shoulder, and he's going to move now to the left. He's going to get this ball up and underneath. Brandvold's going to run. Got a first down. He's going to be brought down pretty quickly after, but the Riders do pick up 3 yards in the rush there and a nice first down. That's what you need, Sam.
And that's a good push from the Rough Rider offensive line as Brandvold was not touched until he crossed the line to gain. That's going to do it for quarter number 1, brought to you by PS Garage Doors. We're headed to the second quarter at Cushman Field. The Rough Riders trailing Kindred by a score of 22-0 on our All True Health System scoreboard. We will be right back. This is Grand Forks Red River Football on KNOX Live Sports.
Open all year round to the public, Eagles Crest offers space for holiday parties and family get-togethers. And of course, daily specials, appetizers, and all your favorites, including Sunday brunch buffets. Come in for the view and delicious meals at Eagles Crest Grill.
Grand Trailer Sales in East Grand Forks is your go-to spot for enclosed utility, flatbed, and dump trailers in the Red River Valley. They have the biggest selection on hand of trailers with great pricing. If you're looking for parts, service, or simply to buy, GrandTrailersales.com.
Rivals on the ice, united in the stands, and everyone's geared up from Jarrell Sports Center and Hockey World. Hockey gear, fan apparel, Nodak Pride, we've got it all and more. Locally owned, 1004 South Washington Street. Shop local, shop Jarrell's.
As we welcome you back, the Rough Riders flipped the field after that end of the first quarter. They were throwing 46-yard line with the 1st and 10. Nice Brandvold run. Receivers 2 on either side, running back behind him. Walters fields a high snap, and he goes quickly. Leads his man perfectly. Nice little reception there, grabbing that ball, number 12. The new name for us, Noah Iverson, grabs that ball and moves forward. Nice little pickup from Iverson there. Riders going to, again, move in the groove and get 3 yards on that first down. And a little bit of the swing pass right quick off the snap, Sam.
Another one of those throws that's effectively a run. Maybe you'd like to see a little bit more zip on that pass from Walters, but good accuracy, like you said, leading the receiver there, Noah Iverson, able to pick up 5 yards. Red River will take that all day long.
Walters in the shotgun now. He feels the snap, takes it from up above him, and it looks like a design run. He's going to work underneath, pick up another 2 yards. Here's the Riders end up in 3rd and manageable. They cross the Kindred side of the field from the Vikings' 48-yard line to gain is at 44. So 3rd and 4 here, Sam. You obviously have to go for it on 4th down, so 2 plays. You don't need it all in one shot.
And we talked about it just from a momentum perspective. This Rough Rider defense playing well for the most part. A couple big plays from Kindred, some big runs, a 39-yard rush on that first offensive possession, 52-yard rush on the last one. Don't want to bring that defense back out on the field trailing by 20. Walters evading some pressure, diving for the first down. Going to be a couple yards short, so now it's decision time for Vern Meir. 4th down and short from the Kindred 45-yard line. Got to imagine you go for it.
Yeah, without a question. Riders get a little bit robbed on the spot there. I don't know if it would have been a first down, but I think it should be at least on the other side of that 45-yard line. But Kindred's going to send in what looks like a pass pro or a heavy package. Riders going to swap out everyone.
Looks like
they're going to show punt here.
The Rough Riders are punting, trailing 22-0 in the early stages here of quarter number 2, and this is certainly a head-scratcher. Playing the field position game, trailing by 20 are the Red River Rough Riders.
Matthew Dosh going to get a chance to do it again, and he does. This one's going to be a little better, move a little further. First touch is down at the 22-yard line or so, so Kindred's going to get their worst starting field position of the night. I thought the Rough Riders might have had a chance to go for it there, Sam. 4th and 1, middle of the field. You've maybe tried this before. Offense seems like it's maybe working in a groove for the first time. A really interesting decision there to turn the ball over to your defense when you maybe had a chance to go for it.
And really only a net 20-yard punt there for Red River as the ball goes out of bounds at the Kindred 20-yard line. So do you want the extra 20 yards of field position against this Kindred offense, or would you rather go for it and be aggressive to try put some points up on the board? I would have elected to be aggressive there, but that's the reason heavy is the headset for the head coach for Red River.
That's right. Kindred, 3 receivers bunched up on the near side, 1 man off to his back. Whipple is going to wait for the snap here. Puts a man in motion, actually just going to work outside as Thiel just low snap. Whipple's going to step up into some pressure. He's got a little bit of a gap, and he's going to be wrapped up for a short gain here. Picks up about 4 on that first down. It was real odd. He was looking kind of behind him, Sam, almost like he wanted to throw it to Hesse on what was like a breakaway wheel, but Hesse was about 5 yards behind him. But an interesting play for Kindred there. 2nd down and 6 now from the 24-yard line.
Tackle made by Connor Bishop-Diaz. During our intermission reports, we will bring you an interview, a player spotlight. Connor Bishop-Diaz having a conversation earlier this week with Ryan Cunningham. So don't go anywhere for our intermission report. Here, Connor Bishop-Diaz talk to Ryan Cunningham.
2 receivers on the near side, 2 men to his right. Whipple's going to grab the snap and hand it off underneath. That's going to be, God darn it, nice tackle from the Rough Riders there. He got a little caught up, grabbing his jersey as Jack Helgeson. On the carry there is Sawyer Hesse, but he gets wrapped up for a minimal gain. So you got 3rd and 3 here deep in their own position. If the Rough Riders can force a stop, Sam, maybe that punt is worth it to flip the field and maybe stop this Kindred offense in their tracks. But that's saying a lot as they have to find a stop here. 9 minutes and 30 seconds remain in our second quarter.
Looked like Hesse was going to be able to break that to at least move the chains, but a good job by Dominic Leach to grab Fabric and not let go. So a 3rd down and short for Kindred from their own 27-yard line.
Riders at the 4-man front, no safety over top, but Dosh probably will drop here as they're going to hand this one. Trick play up and underneath. Riders going to nearly get to him, and this ball's going to be well overthrown, so the Rough Riders do stop him on 3rd down. A little bit of a different play there as Whipple goes out to be the lead blocker for Thielgis. Thielgis looked downfield to Starcevic and overthrew him, but kind of waiting in the back as Brooks Bacco, but unable to come up with that ball. So we'll see now, will Kindred punt? And I'd imagine they'd probably have to at their own 27-yard line here. Rough Riders for the first time do stop the Kindred, second time I should say, stop Kindred on the first 3 downs. But they have an opportunity to see the first special teams unit for this Kindred Vikings team.
And it looked like Thielgis was going to try get that one back to Whipple, but good job there by the Rough Rider defense to stick with the quarterback, stick to their assignments, looking for the second level to get it to Starcevic. Incomplete pass as Kindred does punt this one away, and it's a beauty. Red River will field this one, calling for the fair catch is Matthew Dosh from his own 30-yard line. So maybe a good call there from Vern Muir to not go for it, playing the field position game. Rough Riders get the ball right back.
Let's see if this offense can pick up where they left off, Sam, because they, for the first time tonight, really showed life on successive plays. They got to try and stay in this game and probably stay in their rhythm. I would say notable coming out of the game, offensive lineman for the Rough Riders, number 77, Zane Thurman, who's getting attended to at the table. We do not see him out there, so hopefully Thurman to return shortly for the Rough Riders. They're going to need him up front tonight.
Red River cannot afford any more injuries up front. Already a pretty depleted position group for the Rough Riders.
3 receivers to the far side now. On the quick reel route, this one gets up in the hands of Noah Brandwell. This is going to be a big loss for the Rough Riders as they try and just throw a quick little out pass, but that one well behind the line of scrimmage. Walters fields a good snap, but just unable to do much with it. That's going to be a loss of 5 for the Rough Riders now. Their own 25-yard line, they got 2nd and 15.
And guess who? Sniffing that one out the whole way was Starcevic. His assignment was Brandvold in the backfield. Brandvold going out for that swing pass, sticking with him the entire time, was the junior star for the Vikings. Starcevic taking Red River down from behind the sticks. So now it's going to be 2nd down and 15 from the Rough Rider 25.
3 receivers, near side, clear passing situation. You got to like your matchups on the outside on the near side here. Walter's going to field the snap right in the numbers. This one's going to go to Brandvold up and underneath. He's going to dive forward for about 2 yards there. So the Rough Riders set themselves up 3rd and 13 now. Now you certainly have to pass. You almost leave yourself no choice here, Sam. But Kindred's going to be ready for it, and they've played good pass defense tonight thus far.
Red River has to win 1st down. This is what happens when they have a negative play on 1st down, operating from the behind the sticks, trying to catch the Vikings defense off guard there with a halfback draw. And like you said, clear passing situation here, 3rd down and long.
Walters with the 1 man in his backfield to block, who is Iverson. Walters waiting, finally decides to roll up and just goes for 1 yard as he's kind of grabbing his calf there. That is not what you want to see if you're a Rough Riders fan, as that does not look good for Walters there. We're going to get a quick whistle here, and the trainer is going to jog out very quickly to Walters, so hopefully everything is okay down there, but he looks like he's in pain. Hopefully, we're hoping this is just a cramp, but Walters goes down pretty quickly, and it looks like it might just be as a little bit of a cramp here, but that one, we could see the bulge from the press box here, Sam, did not look good on that right calf, but the Riders nonetheless come up short on 3rd down, just dive forward again for 1 yard. Like you said, when you don't win 1st down, that's exactly what can happen to you.
Yeah, and the pocket just collapsing around Reese Walters. Good coverage. That's as much of a coverage sack as it is a sack, credited to the defensive line for Kindred. Nowhere to go. Walters ultimately has to tuck it and lunge forward for positive yardage of some sort taken down. Hopefully this is just a cramp. This is a timeout. Timeout brought to you by Apex Apparel and Big Jim's Tire. And as Walters lays on the field and is tended to by the medical staff, we're going to take a quick break. This is our coverage of Red River football on KNOX Live Sports.
It takes attention to detail. With your local Bryant dealer, you're getting someone who pays attention to the little things that make a big difference. And to keep your family cool this summer, it takes Bryant.
Connect with Thermal Air today, your Bryant certified dealer.
In Grand Forks, it's about more than just where you live. It's about the people you trust when life happens. At Logan Karski State Farm, we're proud to protect what matters most. I'm Logan Karski with State Farm, and we'd be honored to be your good neighbor.
When the lights go out, count on the pros. Bergstrom Electric in Grand Forks, the area's largest full-service electrical contractor. From commercial builds to homes, they're trusted for quality, safety, and award-winning work. Call today, 701-775-8897.
As Walters comes off the field here, thankfully he is up, but he is not putting any weight on that right ankle, so something to watch for the Rough Riders. They're going to punt it away here. Matt Dosh looking to right the slate and drop a big boot to pin Kindred deep. But the Rough Riders come up unsuccessful after they get their first defensive stop of the night. Not able to do much offensively, and now the game plan changes with Walters coming out of this game, hoping for good news there.
The injury bug just continues to bite this 2025 Red River football program. A lot of injuries up front, leading to some depth issues for the Rough Riders, and now Walters coming out, and that's going to force Dosh into that quarterback position. Good punt coverage there from this Rough Rider punt coverage team, so Kindred will start their fourth offensive possession from their own 40-yard line. Let's see if the Rough Rider defense can find the same success they had the last time out on the field.
Baco electing to field that ball, Sam, at the 37-yard line with two guys right in his face, and maybe trusting his own abilities there, but Red River comes up with a nice tackle. Dosh's best boot of the night by far. Nice to see him getting that back. Red River now has got to play some defense. Kindred starting this drive from their own 40-yard line. Red River did force him 3 and out on the last drive, and you got to hope to do the same here, especially now with Walters coming out. We'll just see maybe what this looks like.
And that Walters injury not only hurts from his position at quarterback, he's an impactful defensive back as well for the Rough Riders. So next man up in the secondary for Red River.
Hesse takes the snap, handoff right side. He's going to work outside of the chains. He's got 10, he's got 15, 20 now, 25, and as he stumbles out of bounds, a big play for Hesse there, Sam, and I talked about it a little bit earlier. A little bit of a smaller guy, but man, does he cut hard, coming in at 5'10", 165, kind of a member of this really star-studded junior class for the Vikings, but man, does he do a nice job of just cutting hard and moving quickly.
And Kindred has kind of a running back by committee. We've seen Hesse and as well Fieldgis, who scored a touchdown tonight for the Vikings, getting a majority of the carries. We featured Brock Johnson during the pregame show as well. Kindred with weapons all around and a deep stable at the running back position.
3 receivers to the right side. Pushing out a little bit further now is Fieldgis. This snap's going to come in. Quick completion to Starcevic. Starcevic's going to work, cut up field. He's rumbling. Big tackle there as Starcevic runs into all 265 pounds of Dominic Leach, but not before picking up 7 yards there. Kindred now down to the 30-yard line. We have another Rough Rider down. This one's Jack Helgeson grabbing at that same right ankle. Like you said, Sam, man, when it rains, it pours. Another injury for the Rough Riders here, as Helgeson looks just a little shaken up, grabbing at his right ankle.
And this will give us another opportunity to hear a word from our sponsors. Another big impact player for the Rough Riders on the turf. Hopefully this will not keep him out for the remainder of the game. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, resume with our coverage of Rough Rider football on KNOX Live Sports.
When you need the right part for your pickup, head to Northwood or call Mike's Custom Truck. Amanda will drop ship any part you need. Turbos, upgraded fuel pumps, Edge products, and more. Mike's Custom Truck, 587-6335.
When you're in pain, you need more than just a doctor. You need a problem solver. Count on All True Orthopedics and Sports Medicine and get back to what moves you.
As we welcome you back, Helgeson pops up and strolls over to the bench, just maybe needs a second to regain himself. So nice, encouraging news there. 3 receivers on the far side. In the shotgun now is Whipple. Motions in Starcevic. Whipple's going to take this one himself. Works right up the middle, grabbing him from behind and with a nice quick tackle there. That's number 18 for the Rough Riders. Oliver Piper in the backfield there. Brooks Baco running right over Seekubility, well away from the play. Seemed a little late to me, but certainly you can't get them all as Kindred does stretch this one for a first down now at the 27-yard line. They got a chance. They've already drawn, Sam, and they want a little bit more in this game.
You got to love how multi-dimensional this Kindred offense is. Obviously, they're flashy toys, Baco and Starcevic, but we're seeing their deep stable of running backs as well.
Yes.
And Whipple has the ability to move the ball through the air and on the ground as well. Just an enigma to be solved by the rest of the state this season is the Kindred offense.
They spread them out here up in the backfield. Red River finally going to get some pressure back, and a big sack there. That's number... I don't have a number there. 18, excuse me. Oliver Piper with a big sack on defense there. Kindred spread him out. And you see without that extra blocker in the backfield how quickly Red River is able to bring pressure as Kindred goes way negative here. They lose 12 yards on that play. Lose 11, excuse me. It's going to be now 2nd and 22 from their own 39-yard line. So Red River finally gets Kindred behind the sticks. Can they capitalize on this, Sam?
Red River brings pressure, and they're able to break Prater there, get home to the quarterback. Great job by Piper coming in from his linebacker position. Let's see if the Rough Rider defense stays aggressive and continues to bring pressure.
Low snap here, so back-to-back bad plays. This one's going to go on a wing route. It is completed, but it's not going to go for very much there, so Kindred nearly avoids disaster with another bad snap. This one just gains 3 yards. I was going to call a quick spot out. Seekubility is going to be blanketing Baco, and he does a nice job on that one. But making the quick play is Whipple. He does get that ball out, but that's another nearly negative play for Kindred, Sam, and that really is what gives these Rough Riders some energy.
Similar spot on the field where we saw Kindred go for it on 4th down and long, kind of in this no-man's territory. So they don't need all 19 yards. Expect them to go for a chunk of 10, maybe 8 yards here to make it a more 4th down and manageable.
Thiel just moves out to the right side, dropping back. Quick pass to Thiel just on the far side here. Rough Riders got to find a defender, and they do not. Thiel just is going to break this one. Got a first down. Oh, Red River just playing that pass inside, and they swing that ball outside, put the running back in motion. He just moves right into space now. A big 3rd and 18 conversion there for Kindred. They're now in the RBB Electric red zone, just the 16-yard line, standing between them and the end zone.
Another back-breaking conversion for Rough Rider fans there at the hands of the Kindred offense. I'm going to correct you there. That went to the wide side to Brooks Baco, junior star wide receiver for Kindred, and you can see why he's a heralded recruit, just showing his athleticism out in space, able to pick up the first down on 3rd and long for the Vikings. Baco being thrown in motion.
Low snap. This one's going to be pitched back to Baco. It looks like a fake play or maybe a broken play. He's going to work to the corner of the end zone. He's got a chance there as he meets a Rough Rider but does stumble in. So on what looks like maybe a flea flicker, not exactly sure. Kind of looks like maybe a broken play, trick play, but Kindred able to convert, and they score a touchdown now, 28-0 on the scoreboard. 4 minutes remain in our second quarter here in this first half as we take another look at it, courtesy of American Family Insurance, Tyler Nagel Agency.
Has to be a broken play as they're looking for a wide receiver pass there for Baco, and instead Baco has to field the errant pitch to himself and then has room on the far side, so Red River not staying in their lanes, not maintaining the edge. Baco goes to the far side, shows his breakaway speed, and Kindred after this point after attempt now leading 29-0 over Red River on our All True Health System scoreboard.
Sam, it's kind of been the story of the night, but Red River's been awfully close on a couple plays, but just not close enough. Kindred has done a nice job of converting, especially when it seems like Red River has maybe got him stuck and put him in a real bad spot. Rough Riders got to come out here, Sam, and try and find a little momentum with 4 minutes remaining. Be curious to see who takes the snaps under center. We did see Joe Motherwell getting some action last week, and he's warming up on the sideline here, playing catch with Matt Dosh. We'll see who comes in. This is kind of what Matt Dosh can bring you, Sam. He's a little bit of a kind of a creative type player. He's got a big body and he's got a good size that can really play wherever you need him on the field. They're going to lose him in the pass catching game, and likely he's going to come out and be under center for the Rough Riders at the end of this second quarter, and hopefully not in the second half as we can extend our condolences to Reese Walters. Hope he starts feeling a little better and his ankle gets worked out, but we'll see.
And Dosh really, hopefully he's a spark plug for this Rough Rider offense. Gives you a little bit of a different look, has more athletic running ability, his ability to make plays on the ground. Still a strong arm on the senior for Grand Forks Red River, number 13, Matthew Dosh, standing at 6'3". So will he be the spark plug that this Rider offense needs to put some points up on the board and find some rhythm here in the later stages of quarter number 2?
Kick is up, and it is short. Caden Tostenson, again, this place kicking game is just odd for Kindred. That ball goes up, looks like a perfectly regular kickoff, but it ends up with a little bit of a back bounce. So Tossins has just got to dive on top of that one. It is a live ball, but he's unable to make a return for that ball. So the Riders start this drive at the 26-yard line. Trotting out now, going to be playing under center is Matthew Dosh. Sammy's a great player. We've seen him. He's a hard-ass worker. Everyone, I mean, that's well-known in Grand Forks. The senior quarterback going to do what he can to guide this Rough Riders team. A little bit of a different look for them. 2 receivers on either side. 1 running back to his right out of the shotgun. Snap low. He gets it. Iverson now going to take it underneath Brandvold, as he grinds forward and picks up a couple yards. So the Riders go positive, and they do win first down here, Sam.
And good job there by the Rough Rider offensive line, moving some bodies around in the interior there for the Rider offensive line, but not able to break daylight there was Brandvold. You'd like to see him break those off for some longer runs. He was able to break a 20-yarder earlier this game. If he's able to break 1 tackle at that first initial level of contact, bad snap to Dosh, he's going to make a play himself after watching Baco make the most of a broken opportunity. Takes a high snap, takes it himself, runs it to the far side, and that's a first down for this Rough Rider offense.
And I like the decisiveness from Dosh there, Sam. That is confidence. Takes a high snap, realizes immediately it's got to be me, and he just takes off on the outside. That's nice. It's good confidence and composure from Dosh. Let's see if he can keep him rolling down the field here. 1st and 10 now from the 39. They look to the sideline to Coach Sen. Clinton Sen going to signal in the play call. They moved him down to the sideline. A little change for the Rough Riders this year. 2 receivers now to the near side. Heavy set off the line. This snap's going to be bad. Dosh is going to field it. Man breathing down his neck. Can he beat him? Can he beat him? Can he beat him? Does he know he's there? As Dosh is going to work forward and get very, very close to that original, line of scrimmage, and he does. Just chasing him down from behind. That's number 54, Miles Stroh, Sam.
Good pursuit there from the senior captain from his linebacker position, Miles Stroh, and you said it during your play call. Not exactly sure Dosh knew he was there. Thought he had a little bit more time, but he shows his lower body strength, able to lunge forward to get back to the line of scrimmage so they don't lose first down. More of a draw.
Kindred showing 4 on the front here. A linebacker core well developed. Dosh now from the shotgun. He fields the snap, takes it a little bit high, but he shoves this one underneath to Brandvold. Brandvold's going to be wrapped up in the backfield. Getting a hand in on there, I believe, is Mauk, as he stumbles forward for what's going to be a loss of 1 yard now. So Riders behind the sticks. 3rd and 11 from the 38-yard line. Just a couple bad snaps, Sam, and we've talked about that. We've harped on that throughout these Rough Riders team, but if that snap is in the bread box, it's a rhythm thing. If they're in rhythm, they have a chance, and we've seen that when the snaps are good, they're just fine, but when it gets out of rhythm, it just makes it a little bit tougher.
Has to be something that the Rough Riders have to figure out as we move deeper into this 2025 high school football season. It was an issue that we saw last week, maybe the only negative tape that the Riders put on film against the Coyotes in that blowout win for Grand Forks Red River. Have to figure it out, and like you said, it's completely a rhythm thing. Can really throw off any play.
Dosh from the shotgun, nice snap, but he's facing some immediate pressure. He slips to first tackle. He's going to cut it back on the near side. He's got a chance to move into some yards there. He's got a first down. Nice play by Dosh. He's going to step out of bounds there. So Dosh on 3rd and 11 comes up with the nice play there. Starcevic was in the backfield. He shook the 1 tackle and didn't like his options downfield and tucked that ball. Again, as we talk about composure and decision-making, you see it right there, Sam.
He breaks that first tackle and immediately says, I'm going to rush for a first down, not even looking down the field, and that's not a bad thing. Had blockers out in front. Great athletic run there from Matthew Dosh. Brandvold getting the run immediately after the rush from the quarterback. Breaks forward for a gain of 6 yards, so another positive first down for Grand Forks Red River, trying to build some rhythm in the later stages of quarter number 2, trying to get a score before halftime.
And Riders moving quickly on that last play, and I do really, really like that play call. They've done a little bit better in rhythm. Going to be 2nd and 4 here from the 42-yard line. Just a minute remains in this first half. They, I believe, have 2 timeouts left, so they need to move quickly. They want to keep this momentum going. Dosh now in the shotgun, 2 receivers far side, 1 on the near side here. Fields the snap. This one's perfect right at the numbers. He goes quickly to the far side. That pass just not on target as it falls just harmlessly out of bounds. He had Max Manassa in a little bit of a pocket, but I don't think that was his intended target. I think he was swinging that one to Brody Neal, but that ball just kind of too far in front of Manassa and a little too far behind Neal.
And that's a tough throw to make for a quarterback at this level. The far side of the field, out route ran from Neal at the second layer. If he was open and time for the quarterback to make the throw was Max Manassa. Like you said, doesn't hurt, just a wash of a play. 3rd down and medium here for the Rough Riders with this much time, only 50 seconds remaining in the half. Got to imagine they're in 4-down territory.
They're in attack mode here. Look for a long stretch play maybe and let Dosh use his legs. Snap is back. He's going to get rid of this one quickly up underneath. Design screen. This one's going to go to Manassa. Manassa puts a nice move on in the midfield. Manassa's got it. 10, cycling underneath, and he gets brought down at the 3-yard line. So Manassa goes for a big strike on 3rd down. Red River finds that spark with Max Manassa and Matt Dosh.
And there's the playmaker for Red River, Manassa. We'll show you that replay brought to you by American Family Insurance, Tyler Nagel Agency, as Red River calls a timeout. So we have time to show you this replay. Just a second-level screen. Manassa able to break that initial tackle, gets out into open space. The defensive back, Gabe Whipple, the quarterback for Kindred, able to prevent a touchdown for Grand Forks Red River. And like you said, Adrian, there's the big play we've been waiting for all game long for the Rough Riders.
So the Rough Riders finally find a big strike now at the doorstep. The 38 seconds remain in this first half from the 4-yard line well into our RBB Electric red zone. Nice play from Dosh there. He found Manassa. Manassa fields that ball out of a crowd of guys and just takes off into green grass. He might have had a chance to beat him in the corner, but I trust the guy on the field as Manassa is one of their big targets. See if the Rough Riders can cash in now on that big play, Sam. You absolutely need this one heading into the locker room, knowing that you got to play defense right away in the first half.
Have to finish. You are knocking at the door. Now you got to bring it home for this Rough Rider offense. Like you said, Adrian, this is all about momentum going into halftime to give your sideline a sense of belief that you can play with this number 2 team in the state.
Here we go, folks. Rough Riders for the first time really in scoring territory, heavy on the line here. As they put a man in motion, this one's going to go up and underneath. Double reverse. This one's going to Brody Neal. Brody Neal is going to shuffle outside, just unable to make a play as Starcevic breaks him down behind the line of scrimmage, but a flag does come in from behind the play, holding on the Rough Riders. Oh, no. 32 seconds on the clock there, so Red River with a chance on the doorstep. Runs a reverse. I thought they probably would have had it the first way, but I suppose when the play is called, you do what is designed. But the Rough Riders lose yards there, and then they lose a couple more on the penalty. Encouraging to see Helgeson back into the game, but bad news for Rough Riders fans as Reese Walters is going to go into the boot on the sideline here and get a pair of crutches. I would expect that we will be seeing a lot of Matt Dosh in the second half, Sam.
You got to think so. And coming back to that first down and goal play for the Rough Riders, trying some misdirection on the double reverse, coming back to the near side. Thought there would maybe be a passing option available for Brody Neal, but just another example of Red River taking 1 step forward, 2 steps back, just continuing to shoot themselves in the foot with these penalties.
So it will still be first and goal, a little bit of a different look from the 14-yard line. And maybe you like that if you're Red River. You got a little more space to play. They had a nice play call here as we're going to get a timeout for Red River. Their final of the half. I'm guessing that was probably ball starting as soon as it is placed there as the clock's running. Nonetheless, with 32 seconds left, you get a timeout. This one brought to you by Big Jim's Tire and Apex Apparel. Sam, I think we'll keep this one here. Tell me about what you want to see from the Rough Riders in this kind of set.
Well, first and foremost, like you said, you made a good point about Red River maybe feeling a little bit more comfortable with some more real estate to work with. Originally at the 4-yard line, of course, you'd rather be closer to the goal line than further away at any situation. But this opens up the playbook a little bit more for this Red River coaching staff. They want to put the ball in the air, maybe get Matthew Dosh out in space, roll out to his right where he's able to keep his eyes down the field. And if he sees some space in front of him, run the ball in. Put the ball in the hands of your playmakers, and that's Dosh, of course, at the quarterback position. But I would look to see them dial up a play for the playmaker who's been stellar throughout the course of last week and throughout the course of the first half against Kindred this week. That's Max Manassa.
Yeah, and Max Manassa is really their shining star right now, Sam. I'd like to see a design rollout from Dosh, like you said, get him into space, and maybe leave a guy on the near side coming across the middle so you give yourselves a couple options, not only to the left, but coming back across the middle. Nonetheless, here we go. Riders, 32 seconds on the clock remaining in this first half. Looking for a spark heading into the locker room. Dosh takes a snap. It's low. It's good. Dosh is going to roll out to the right side. He's got a man. He's going to come down as Starcevic is going to make a big play on Matt Dosh. That's going to be a big loss. And Red River's got to go quick here if they want to keep some time on the clock. They're going to hustle back to the line.
No timeouts.
Likely got 2 play calls there in the huddle. Dosh is going to settle back in, and they get set. He's going to take this snap with just 10 seconds left. He's got it near the chest plate, standing over the 30-yard line, 35. He's going to step up and roll.
Got to get out of bounds. Get out of bounds.
And he does just skirt out of bounds with 3 seconds left at the 17-yard line.
Whew. Big play from Starcevic. Allow you to catch
Excellent.
your breath, Adrian. Great job doing play-by-play for this broadcast. Red River taking on Kindred. Starcevic, just a 16-yard loss. The sack against Matthew Dosh, the quarterback for Red River. Starcevic making his presence felt on offense and defense, and he's been applying pressure all night long. You can see why he's such a highly touted prospect for college football recruiters.
Yeah, and the nice thing about that one, Sam, is from a Starcevic perspective, he wraps the guy up. I mean, it's not only that he's putting pressure and flushing Dosh, but he's actually completing the tackle and completing the play, which is huge because you've seen how elusive Dosh can be in this game. It's a nice job by Starsfish to at least grab onto him and make sure he comes down. A big loss there, but Dosh does pick up a couple more yards. Time for one play here for the Rough Riders, Sam.
And what you got to think about, you had 1st and goal at the 4-yard line. After the penalty, it pushes you back. The sack pushes you back even further. What was 1st and goal from the 4 is now 3rd and goal from the 18. So Red River just not able to maintain the momentum when they've had some pretty good rhythm at spurts throughout half number 1.
Yeah, I think the Riders just need to find some consistency here. Manasa is going to be lined up on the outside against the much smaller Sawyer Hesse. Be curious to see if Dosh looks for him, but he gets some safety help. Dosh to drop back. He's got time, clean pocket. Rolls to the right side, signaling his man downfield. He's got to throw this ball. He gets this one off before the line of scrimmage, but that one goes up, jump ball, end zone. No good. So the Rough Riders come up empty from the 4-yard line here, and they come up empty in this first half. Kindred all over the Rough Riders. They jump out to a 29-0 lead on our Ultra Health Systems scoreboard. Folks, we are getting ready for our second half here from Cliff Cushman Field. Sam, why don't you send us to a break? When we come back, I think we got a player interview, Cameron Bishop Diaz coming for you, all coming to you in the halftime show.
Whether it's a golf course, your lawn, a pasture on your farm, cover crop, or even a food plot to help you get that big buck, Rivard's Turf and Forage of Grand Forks has developed, mixed, and packaged the premium specialized seed you need for almost every application. Go to rivards.com.
Rivals on the ice, united in the stands, and everyone's geared up from Jarrell Sports Center and Hockey World. Hockey gear, fan apparel, Nodak Pride, we've got it all and more. Locally owned, 1004 South Washington Street. Shop local, shop Jarrell's.
Grand Trailer Sales in East Grand Forks is your go-to spot for enclosed utility, flatbed, and dump trailers in the Red River Valley. They have the biggest selection on hand of trailers with great pricing. If you're looking for parts, service, or simply to buy, GrandTrailersales.com.
Signature Graphics in East Grand Forks is your one-stop shop for all your branding and design needs. From embroidery, vinyl wrapping, laser print, and more fully customized from start to finish, all in-house. Signature Graphics. We craft your vision. You watch it come to life.
When you're in pain, you need more than just a doctor. You need a problem solver. Count on All True Orthopedics and Sports Medicine and get back to what moves you.
It's hard to explain what this feels like. We could try to put it into words, but nothing compares to experiencing it for yourself. You just have to get in the seat.
Visit True North Equipment at any of our 10 locations or at www.truenorthequipment.com.
Spray Advantage of Grand Forks carries everything you need for the chemical and fertilizer application on your farm. Pumps, tips, and tanks from 3 gallons all the way up to 10,000 gallons on hand. They can help with parts and accessories for the fertilizer and tillage equipment on your farm too. SprayAdvantage.com.
Apex Apparel is your quick turnaround apparel and promotional item shop in Grand Forks. If you're looking for direct-to-garment printing, embroidery work, or a huge selection of promotional items, come to Apex Apparel, your locally owned, family-run, quick turnaround apparel shop in Grand Forks.
The Ski and Bike Shop proudly supports our local high school athletes on the field, the court, and beyond. Just like sports, adventure starts with the right gear. The Ski and Bike Shop, where your next adventure begins.
Welcome back to our coverage of North Dakota high school football on the KNOX Live Sports Network, brought to you by Grand Trailer Sales and Rivard's Turf and Forage. Right now we're at halftime, bringing you the halftime report. This halftime report brought to you by High Plains Water, your home's clear choice for awesome water, and Grand Forks Welding and Machine, the men of steel since 1885. Real quick, we'll bring you through a scoring summary, all scoring being done by Kindred. It's been all Vikings through one half of play here at Cushman Field on our All True Health System scoreboard. It's Kindred 29, Grand Forks Red River 0, and Kindred got the scoring started with just 8 minutes and 39 seconds remaining in quarter number 1. It was a 1-yard rush from their running back, number 8, Miles Thielgis. Point after attempt is good. That made the score 7-0 to get the scoring started for the Vikings. Then just 4 minutes after that score, a 3-yard rushing touchdown from their quarterback, Gabe Whipple. A good second effort after being met at the line of scrimmage. As a 4th down and goal inside the 2-yard line. Whipple able to extend the ball over the line to gain for the score. And then after a 2-point conversion, that brought the score to 15-0 after quarter number 1. Actually, one more score, and it was a big one with 51 seconds remaining in the first. It was a 52-yard rush from number 3, Sawyer Hesse, the senior running back for Kindred. A big breaking play for Kindred. They had a couple of big rushes to have some explosive plays against this Rough Rider defense and some back-breaking third down, fourth down conversions. The Rough Riders playing well overall, but some of those big plays they would like to have back, including that 52-yard rushing touchdown from Sawyer Hesse. Then only one score in quarter number 2. That came with 4 minutes remaining in the half. It was a 16-yard rushing touchdown for Brooks Bacco, and that was a play where we're going to show you the replay for this. Actually, we do not have the replay available for you for that Brooks Bacco. We'll show you that during our post-game report here on KNOX Live Sports, as you're going to see that rush from Max Manassa. It was actually a screen receiving play, one of the best plays of the first half for the Rough Rider offense. So that rush from Bacco with 4 minutes remaining in the half after the point after made the score 29-0, and that's where we stand after 24 minutes to play. That scoring summary brought to you by Bergstrom Electric. The light does shine brighter. Trust the professionals, employee-owned company. Whether it's for a commercial build or one of your home projects, our scoring summary sponsor, Bergstrom Electric. So 29-0 after half number 1. Adrian, we talked about it ad nauseum through quarter number 1 and quarter number 2. Red River's offense just having a tough time finding a rhythm. When they did, were able to build some momentum. Penalties brought them back behind the sticks.
Yes, and I think my main takeaway from that first half is aggression from the Rough Riders, maybe lack thereof. A couple good opportunities, midfield 4th and 1. Really the first time in the first quarter, team is finally starting to move. They elect to punt. They got the third. They got a 3-and-out, but then they turn around and go 2 negative plays and lose the ball immediately. So it's kind of, what do you do? You know, end of the game, you're at the 4-yard line. You try a interesting double reverse play. I would, in my opinion, I'd like to see them be aggressive and go straight for the end zone there, not play cute football. I've just been really, really surprised by the aggression from the Rough Riders in a game that you know is going to be tough. Why not at least try and keep your foot on the gas and roll the dice out there?
I would agree. There's been some points where decision-making has been something where, you know, it's a strategy that Red River said, hey, we're going to try play a field position battle on that punt near midfield, 4th down and 1. The defense was able to do their job. Kindred punted the ball right back, but maybe the sequence that led to the most confusion up here in the press box was after that explosive play from Max Manassa on that screen play. 1st down and goal in the final 30 seconds of the first half from the 4-yard line. I would like to see Matthew Dosh just do a quarterback power, hand it off to Noah Brandvold, just run north and south instead of east and west, and that's what opened up an opportunity. Some extended blocking from this rather green offensive line for the Rough Riders. More time with the ball in the backfield, more likelihood for a flag to be thrown.
I agree, especially when you're overmanned up front. I mean, you have to play quickly, and they did some of that with some passes kind of out to the flats really early in this game. I'd like to see them get back to that because the run game has been okay in spurts, but it's not been as consistent. Bell cow, 2-3 yard gains, pretty much lock, stock, and barrel. So I'd like to see them try a little bit something different there. You know, also notable, Reese Walters, the guy with the big arm, comes out of the game with what looks like a nasty right ankle or foot injury, so we're wishing him the best, but Riders likely going to be without him. And Cam Irion also missing from tonight's game. So the Rough Riders are doing more with a lot less tonight. I'd just like to see them play aggressive and use kind of the abilities of your playmakers. Matthew Dosh is a great playmaker, moves his feet. He makes decisions quickly. Lean into that, I think, if you're the Rough Riders.
Well said. Red River trying to bite into that 29-point lead that Kindred has built for themselves after half number 1 on our All-True Health System scoreboard. We're making our way through the halftime report brought to you by Grand Forks Welding and High Plains Water. We're going to take a break, hear a word from our sponsors. When we come back, we'll hear our player spotlight. Connor Bishop Diaz sitting down with Ryan Cunningham earlier this week. This is Rough Rider Football on KNOX.
Rust, salt, and time are the biggest enemies for a fuel tank. Never fear, because Grand Forks Welding is here to take care of your enemies for you. We not only fix or patch your tanks, but we can custom fabricate any kind of replacement fuel tanks or service unit. Go to grandforkswelding.com.
Your family deserves clean, filtered water. High Plains Water offers Millennium Drink Water System, which delivers great-tasting water and also eliminates harmful impurities. Professionally installed and maintained by High Plains Water of Grand Forks. See them at highplainswater.com.
Big Jim's Tire is the area's #1 farm and ag tire supplier, and with harvest here, you want the best. Best tires, best service, and Big Jim's will get it done fast to get you moving again. Big Jim's Tire, Grand Forks.
Today, the PS stands for proper service for your home, farm, or business, which is what you'll get from the team at PS Garage Doors in Grand Forks. Whether you need a door fixed or just thinking about replacing what you already have, get your proper service at psgaragedoors.com.
Nothing feels or performs better than a properly fitted golf club. Whether it's irons, driver, or putter, call us today for your free club fitting. For over 30 years, the Golf Center in Grand Forks has been your club fitting leader.
Pro Ag in Grand Forks and Grafton carries the equipment and parts on hand to make your farming operation run smooth. They carry all major brands like Honeybee, Alloway, Amity, Artex, Hardy, Capello, Monosem, Pickett, Wilrich, and Black Ace. So whether you're trading in, buying, or just need parts, go to ProAgEquip.com to see everything Pro Ag has to offer.
We very much take a lot of pride in our work. Customer service has always been our number one.
We have the best materials. You're going to have the best people in the area to do the job.
If you can dream it up, we can make it happen.
Or head to gworkslf.com to get started.
From tears in your car, truck, boat, or farm equipment seats to making boat covers or complete restorations of the interior of your hot rod, Finest Auto Trim in Grand Forks can make the inside of your rides look brand new. Big or small, Finest Auto Trim can cover it all. To get a quote, go to finestautotrim.com.
Welcome back to our halftime report on the KNOX Live Sports Network. This halftime report brought to you by Grand Forks Welding and High Plains Water. Right now we're going to hear a conversation between Connor Bishop-Diaz and our sports director Ryan Cunningham. This conversation took place earlier this week, and it's brought to you by Acme Tools, your Kubota sales and service full-line dealer. Here's the senior linebacker for the Rough Riders, Connor Bishop-Diaz.
Connor, thank you for joining us here today. We always start with our player profiles by asking about your first opportunity to play football, how you got introduced to the game, and you sharing a memory with us about one of those early opportunities to play, something that stands out when you were just a youngster playing football.
Okay, so I didn't start playing football until 7th grade, which was like when middle school tackle football started. But my earliest memories of football would be wearing my Drew Brees jersey and watching the Saints on TV. But actually playing football, I'd say, was playing everywhere on the field in 7th grade. I was running back, tight end, left guard, linebacker, receiver. I played everything. So that's probably great memories there.
I've got to ask you about Drew Brees and the New Orleans Saints. You know, around here you get Vikings, you get Packers. There's always some Cowboys fans. New Orleans Saints, is there a connection there, or are you just a big Drew Brees fan?
No, there's definitely a connection there. So my family, everyone except me and my sister from my family is from New Orleans, like born and raised in New Orleans. I was born in Tennessee, but I still have a bunch of family in New Orleans, and we go there every year or so. And it's just, I just love it down there. And of course I love the Saints, even when they're bad.
You know what? That's the true test of a fan, is if you love them even when they're bad. And I'm sure that a lot of people can find a little bit of camaraderie with you there. Let's talk about you, the student. When you're away from being the athlete part and being the student of student athlete, Connor, what is your passion in school? What do you like to study? What do you see as your path?
So I'd say probably my favorite subject overall through high school has been math, only because I'm probably the best at it. But what interests me the most is like psychology, and I'm also taking aviation courses. So I think through college, I'm going to pursue either sports psychology or commercial aviation. But from what I've had in high school, it's definitely been math, because I like being good at it, for sure.
Tell you what, though, we need a lot of pilots, and we do that pretty well here in Grand Forks, so that's good to know. When you are not a student or an athlete, you've got some downtime. And I know that in talking with a lot of our young people lately, not a lot of that. But when there is some, Connor, what do you like for hobbies? What do you like to do to spend your free time?
When I'm not playing or watching football, I like to hang out with my friends. I work out all the time. I love to be in the gym. I like watching TV and movies, just going outside, going places. I don't really like being cooped up at my house too much. So whenever I can not just be sitting on my couch, I'm usually doing something with friends or whatever.
That's cool. I like that. And then finally, Connor, tell us what it's like, what this experience has been with you being a Red River Rough Rider, having a chance to play with the teams that you played with, particularly this group of guys. What does it mean to put a Rough Rider uniform on? What does that mean to Connor Bishop-Diaz?
I mean, it's been awesome, because since I was a freshman, our team was like heavily successful, winning seasons, playoffs. And of course, last year we had those guys that we made the state run with. And it was an honor to play with them. I got to be a huge part in special teams and stuff. But this year specifically, we're kind of like an entirely new team because there's a lot of faces that you haven't seen before playing out there. So it's really like, it feels special to be a part of that and be a part of something fresh and trying to find our own success and create our own path with it.
Thank you to Connor Bishop Diaz for sitting down to have that conversation with Ryan Cunningham earlier this week. Always great to know our student athletes a little bit better. That player spotlight brought to you by Acme Tools, your Kubota sales and service full line dealer, just moments away from the start of half number 2. Kindred will begin the second half with possession of the football unless there's an onside kick from Grand Forks Red River. But Adrian, having some conversations with our colleagues up here in the press box, it feels like the scoreboard is not necessarily indicative of how Red River played that first half. Just a couple of big plays from the Vikings that were backbreakers for this Red River defense.
Yeah, I think Red River had their share of opportunities. We talked a little bit harping on them offensively about not staying aggressive, but defensively they've actually done okay. Kindred has had a couple of long conversions. There was a 3rd and 18 down here that they converted for a near touchdown. There was that big 30-some-yard run on 4th and 15. So I think if Red River can get their butts off the field on defense, they give themselves a chance to stay in this game. The key is getting their butts off the field. This is a Kindred team that wants to score. I mean, they're going to probably put up 30 points for their 5th straight game. So it's going to be a tough night tonight, but I think the defense has held their own to their credit, Sam.
And some of those big runs, like we talked about, a 30-yard rush for Sawyer Hess set up a touchdown for number 8, Miles Thielgis, the first score of the game for Kindred. Then you had another 25-yard rush from Hess. That set up the 16-yard touchdown run for Brooks Bacco. Then that 52-yard touchdown run from Sawyer Hess. So he's been breaking some big runs for this Kindred offense throughout that first half. Let's see what adjustments the Rough Rider defense will make to try to limit those big plays.
Yeah, we'll see what they can do, Sam. And obviously a new look at quarterback as well for them. Matt Dosh going to play the majority of this second half. Excellent athlete. We've talked up and down about him. We talked about how he could be an important player tonight, and now his role has been really thrust into the limelight as he'll be guiding the Rough Riders, most likely from the shotgun, but under center is their quarterback tonight in this second half. Rough Riders trail 29-0 on our Ultra Health System scoreboard. They're going to boot the ball all the way to Kindred and see if they can find some juice early in this second half here, Sam, and turn the tides.
And that will wrap up our halftime report. This halftime report brought to you by Grand Forks Welding, the men of steel since 1885, and also High Plains Water, your home's clear choice for awesome water. Quality water will improve every aspect of your life. Better tasting water, softer skin, and softer clothes. Contact the professionals at High Plains Water, our halftime sponsor.
Here we go, Sam.
So Red River will kick off the ball to start half number 2. Kindred will work their way from right to left on your screen. Red River, when they take over offensive possession here in quarter number 3, will work from left to right. A couple of teams who had a lot of success a year ago, Grand Forks Red River, the runner-up at the Dakota Bowl at the Class 2A level. Kindred, the runner-up at the Class A level, getting bumped up to the 2A level. And leaving no doubts about it, they accept the competition. They're relishing the opportunity to prove themselves against some of the bigger schools and off to a big lead against Grand Forks Red River. The Rough Riders trying to put a dent in this lead, and it starts with defense as Kindred fair catches from their own 35-yard line where their first offensive possession of half number 2 will start.
As the Rider defense trots out in the second half, Jack Helgeson is good to go. He's kind of favoring that right ankle, but he will go to play. Just going to try and grit his teeth and maybe make a difference from that second level. He's done a nice job tonight. Riders will need him. Dosh coming in still for playing safety in the pass coverage, so he will go both ways for the remainder of this game, most likely. Here we go, Sam. Rough Riders have a chance. They can find maybe a stop earlier, potentially even a big play. They give themselves an opportunity maybe to flip the tide in this game, but Kindred is going to give them all the gas they can. From the shotgun now is Whipple. One man on either side. He hands it off to his right. Riders in the second level. They got him, and they're going to drag him down for a 2-yard gain. A couple riders in the backfield there, but Whipple, Sawyer Hesse with a quick cut and just evades, but dives forward for 2 yards there.
And you talked about Helgeson. Rough Rider fans were worried that he was going to be out with injury. Back out on the field, makes the tackle at the second level. Rough Riders not able to get home with pressure, but a good job by the secondary level, the linebacker core for this Red River defense, able to avoid a big play from Kindred, and that has to be their goal here in half number 2, avoiding the big ones, make Kindred nickel and dime it all the way down the field if they're going to score.
From the shotgun is Whipple. 2 receivers on the far side. He's going to turn quickly and pass this one. This one's going to go, I believe, to number 2. That is Brooks Bacco, but he just slides forward for just a 1 or 2 yard gain. So Red River with a little pep in their step. Short pass for the far side goes nowhere really for the Kindred Vikings. They got third and medium here from the 6-yard line. Their own 44-yard line. Line to gain is own 39, excuse me. Line to gain is a 45.
Great form tackle from Siku Ability going one-on-one with one of the best athletes in the state on the far side, and Brooks Bacco. Brooks Bacco trying to put on a move, but sticking with his man is Siku Ability, forcing a 3rd down and 6.
From the shotgun now is Whipple. He fields this ball, and he's going to drop back. Riders with some pressure. This could be a screenplay. It is. Starsvik grabs the ball one-handed. He's got a 1st down and much more. He's gained nearly 20 yards there. Design screenplay, and the Riders got their hands up. But Whipple, with men in his face, is able to put a completion out to Starcevic. Nearly dropped by him, but those sturdy hands just fields that ball, and he's able to drag it down as Kindred picks up the 1st down.
Good play call there for Kindred, and not what you want when you bring pressure. A screen play to the tight end screen to the stud junior tight end for Kindred, Luke Starcevic, and he's going to pick up 25 yards on the play. 1st down and 10 from Rough Rider territory.
From the shotgun now, Starcevic going to move from right to left in the formation. Whipple gets the ball. He's going to look to Starcevic's way. He's got some pressure, but he's able to field it. Puts a long ball up top. This one going to go to Brooks Bacco, but just out of reach there. And there you see the arm coming alive for Whipple. Nearly a 50-yard strike for him, and that ball, Sam, had all the juice.
And Bacco had beat his defender. The ball just a couple of strides in front of the intended target there from Gabe Whipple. He'd like to have that one back. Could have been a 42-yard passing touchdown for the Vikings. In coverage for Red River was number 23, the junior defensive back, Liam Wadlow.
2nd and 10 now from the Riders' 42-yard line is Kindred. 3 on the far side, 1 in the back. They send Starcevic in motion, but doesn't make it past the quarterback here. He's going to block. This one's going to go hand it off underneath. This one's going to go to Hesse. Hesse's going to barrel forward and push for 8-yard gain there. A nice pickup from Hesse. And you see they do the same little motion, the same play design, Sam, but instead of going across the formation, Starcevic just stops and gets out there as a lead blocker.
Starcevic makes his way from the far slot. Basically an additional offensive lineman gets brought just offset of the offensive line on the far side, and you can really see him contain that edge, making easy running for Sawyer Hesse. Easy to run behind that stellar tight end, Luke Starcevic for Kindred.
Out of the shotgun now, man on either side is Whipple. Ball at the 34-yard line. He's going to hand this one up underneath. This one's going to go again to Hesse, and Hesse's going to grind forward and pick up just 4 yards on the play right up the gut. That one is going to be good for a 1st down.
So that one big tight end screen to Starcevic is the one big play so far this possession, but Red River's been able to avoid the big play outside of that in this first defensive possession in half number 2. Let's see if they can bow up here as Kindred is nearing the RBB Electric red zone. 1st down and 10 from the Red River 31.
Of note, Sam, this is Kindred's first visit to Cliff Cushman Field, I think, in their program's history, and they will come back later this fall to play Grand Forks Central. Whipple now in the backfield. One man behind him. He's going to hand it up underneath. This one's going to go to Hesse. Hesse's going to find some room. Wow, does he move quickly. Hesse barrels forward, a nice 13-yard pickup. They enter the RBB Electric red zone. This ball spotted at the 19-yard line for Hesse, and another quick 1st down pickup for Kindred there. Just been very impressed with him running in the backfield, Sam.
And Adrian, what we're starting to see is some dominance up front for Kindred, maybe going up against some tired bodies. Depth has been a question mark for this Riders' defensive and offensive front. Kindred really starting to throw some bodies around in the trenches. Other games in action today, we got Grand Forks Central playing Fargo South down in Fargo. We'll provide a score update next time that we have an opportunity. Also, East Grand Forks taking on Pelican Rapids.
This ball is going to go out to the outside. Hesse's going to work, and he's going to get a nice tackle. This helmet popping off as Wadlow gets in there and drops Hesse for what will be a very minimal game. And I think we're going to get in a – look like – thought it was an official's timeout, but I guess they're going to keep that clock rolling. But quick play design, and they want to get the ball in Hesse's hands in the second half, Sam, but look for them to open up the pass here.
The stoppage there is to allow Wadlow to get to the sideline with his helmet coming off. Has to sit out for a minimum of one play, so he's going to make his way to the sideline. He's completely okay after that nice tackle, short gain for Kindred. Let's see if Grand Forks is able to continue to maintain that edge and really bow up, especially up front.
Familiar set for Kindred, 2 outside, 2 in the backfield. Hesse takes the shoulder-high snap. He's going to drop back and roll out to the right side. First time we've seen this in the second half. He's going to get chased. He's going to get brought down near the sticks and get sacked. A big sack for Grand Forks Red River as they put the man on the ground. That's number 10, Connor Bishop Diaz, our Acme Tools player spotlight in the halftime show, Sam.
Bishop Diaz, nice pursuit, being chased from behind. I believe that was Oliver Piper as well, providing some pressure, going for a shoelace tackle. Not able to get home, but great pursuit from the Rough Rider defense to get a sack. Great job there from Bishop Diaz.
Good pass coverage as well for the Rough Riders, not giving Whipple an opportunity to get rid of that ball. Kindred operating from behind the sticks, but they have had some success from this position, Sam. 3rd and 13 from the 22-yard line to gain is that 10-yard, 3rd and 12, excuse me.
Once again, probably just outside of field goal range, so 4-down territory for the Vikings. Looks like a pre-snap infraction. It'll be a false start, so this will make this 3rd down and 13. Push Kindred back 5 yards. Now it'll be a 3rd down and 18 with the line to gain, the Red River 10-yard line.
And this is where Red River has got to capitalize, Sam. This is where they did not capitalize in the first half. You've got Kindred back on their heels. You've got a negative play. Now you've picked up a penalty. You have to get them off the field here or certainly make it a hard 4th down to think about.
And that is not, like you said, Adrian, that's what the Rough Riders had a tough time doing, finishing the job defensively in half number 1. Almost saw this exact situation in the first quarter where Whipple was able to get a 1st down with his legs. So even if you have good coverage, you also got to keep an eye on the quarterback in the backfield.
Whipple's going to send Field just out to the near side. He's going to duck underneath, but he's going to drop back to pass. This one's going to be aired out well down. Brooks Bacco all alone. Big touchdown grab for Bacco. And the big strike comes from the Kindred Vikings. That one goes for, I believe, 29 yards with 6 minutes and 30 seconds remaining on our scoreboard as it continues to run. Kindred does strike, and they pop out to a 35-0 lead on Red River. A big play call there on 3rd down.
And let's take a look at that replay. Just a great pitch and catch from that Kindred offense. Whipple finding his playmaker, Bacco. Bacco making his way downfield, so give credit to the Kindred offensive line, giving Whipple time to throw, and he throws a dart to the near side. Good job to high-pointing that ball is Brooks Bacco. So that's a touchdown. Now we find ourselves in running clock territory. And with an injured player on the field, this looks like it could be Bacco, the touchdown scorer for Kindred on that most recent play to push the score to 35-0 in favor of the Vikings over the Rough Riders on our All True Health System scoreboard. This timeout brought to you by Apex Apparel and Big Jim's Tire. We're actually going to take a break as well. When we come back, we'll continue with our coverage of Rough Rider football on KNOX Live Sports.
Open all year round to the public, Eagles Crest offers space for holiday parties and family get-togethers. And of course, daily specials, appetizers, and all your favorites, including Sunday brunch buffets. Come in for the view and delicious meals at Eagles Crest Grill.
Whether it's a golf course, your lawn, a pasture on your farm, cover crop, or even a food plot to help you get that big buck, Rivard's Turf and Forage of Grand Forks has developed, mixed, and packaged the premium specialized seed you need for almost every application. Go to rivards.com.
When you're in pain, you need more than just a doctor. You need a problem solver. Count on All True Orthopedics and Sports Medicine and get back to what moves you.
As we welcome you back, just a couple seconds too late, Red River blocks that PAT of Kindred, so Kindred just jumps out to a 35-0 lead, but the Rough Riders with a nice encouraging defensive play as they block that PAT. They're set to receive this kickoff here, Sam. What do the Rough Riders have to do on this drive to maybe give themselves a fighting, breathing, kicking, screaming chance in this one?
Well, before we move forward to this offensive possession for Red River, just got to talk about another missed opportunity. It's the same song and dance that we saw in half number 1, pushing Kindred behind the sticks. Defense has an opportunity to get off the field, but you give up a 28-yard passing touchdown. Gabe Whipple getting connected with Brooks Bacco, who, by the way, was able to walk off the field under the guise of his own power, walking around on the sideline, so hopefully just a cramp for the junior for Kindred, the 6'5" wide receiver who has a bright future. Was able to get off the field under his own power, but offensively here for Red River, you just want to continue to do what's right, and that's getting the ball out to your playmakers in space. And the two playmakers that Red River is going to need to lean on heavily is going to be their quarterback, Dosh, who's going to need to make plays with his arm as well as with his legs, and then find a way to get it to Manassa in space. He was able to get deep inside Kindred territory in the later stages of half number 1. Let's see if you can continue to feed him and if he's able to find a trip into the end zone.
This short ball is going to be fielded on a really, really nice return there, getting the ball number 23. Liam Wadlow is going to short that kind of waffling ball. Fields it at the 30 and bursts out near midfield. Going to get spotted at the 40, 50, 47-yard line. I was watching the wrong guy.
Good field position for Grand Forks Red River. Let's see if they're going to be able to take advantage as Matthew Dosh stretched this Rider offense out onto the field for their first offensive possession, trailing by 35 at this point, so it's less so probably about maybe too little too late if you're able to find success offensively, but just trying to put positive film as you're going to be studying for next week's opponent.
Dosh fields the low snap, looks to his right, finds a quick out. This one's going to go to number 12 on that far side. Didn't get a look at that one. That is Noah Iverson, the reception there, but he's swallowed up quickly by Kindred for a quick loss of 1.
Miles Stroh all over the field tonight for Kindred. This senior captain, linebacker for the Vikings, just a leader on the defensive side of the field for Kindred, and he's been all over the field. Just a back-of-the-napkin stat. Have to imagine that he's nearing 10 tackles on the game.
Dosh in the backfield here, one behind him. Fields a low snap. It's going to be a handoff to Brambold. Brambold's got Paydirt. He's got 5. He's got 10. He's got 9. Nearly with that first down. It's going to be spotted at the Kindred, I believe, 45. So a pickup of 9 on that play for Brambold as he gets underneath. 3rd and short for the Riders, and you think they have to go for it here, Sam.
3rd and 2, and this is a point where Red River in half number 1 tried get cute, tried some misdirection, just continue to run the ball north and south. Whether that's with your quarterback, he has a 6'3" frame. Look for a quarterback power, just hand it off to your power running back in the backfield.
With it now, Dosh. This one is a design run for him. He's going to barrel forward, pick up that first down. So Dosh does have a first down, and the Riders are in business now at the Kindred 43-yard line.
And there's that quarterback power we talked about. When you have a big frame quarterback like that who has athletic ability, he's shown the ability to run, plays both ways for the Rough Riders, does Matt Dosh. Put the ball in his hands and let him make plays, able to move the chains for the Rough Riders.
Dosh now in the backfield, 2 targets on our near side. Let's see if he can maybe air it out on this one. He's going to drop back and actually look downfield. Nice pass there. That one caught by Manassa. Manassa picks up an easy first down right over the middle. Big play for the Rough Riders here, and they're moving the ball, Sam.
And another example of Grand Forks Red River, just a great play call from the coaching staff of Red River, finding Manassa down the field. He's going to continue to see an increased role in this offense. How can you continue to draw more plays to get the ball in his hands?
As Dosh is going to drop back here, this one's going to go by the way of nearly going to be grabbed by Brody Neal, but just believe goes right over his head. So Dosh whips one out quickly. Would have been a nice gain for Neal. Probably could have barreled for a couple more yards after that one, but the Riders go incomplete as the clock continues to run. Just under 4 minutes remain in this third quarter, Sam.
30 points is the run clock time, so Red River trying to punch this one into the end zone to stop the clock, give their defense an opportunity to get a 3 and out, and who knows, try and make this a 1-2 possession game in the later stages of quarter number 4, but the Rough Rider offense so far with the most impressive drive of the game.
Stepping back is Dosh. Dosh is going to field some pressure and roll out, tucks this one under the arm, calls for a block upfield. He's probably got a first down, or he's going to be darn close as Dosh makes a quick decision, looked downfield and saw his men were covered, and he just rolls out quickly, Sam, and he's going to be very, very close to that first down. Let's see where they spot him.
He's going to be just short. Good job by Dosh to call out direct traffic, and a good downfield block from the senior wide receiver Noah Iverson, listening to his quarterback, 3rd down and short, expect the ball to stay in Dosh's hands.
Dosh is going to hand this one underneath to Brandvold. Brandvold's going to barrel forward, and he does pick up that first down just to gain a 2. But, Sam, that's all you needed here. So the Rough Riders enter the RBB Electric Red Zone for only the 2nd time this evening.
Love to see this from the Riders, not trying to get cute, just playing good old-fashioned football, going north and south as we have an injured Rider on the field. So we're going to take this break with our colleagues down on Cushman Field. This is our coverage of North Dakota High School football on KNOX, Kindred 35, Grand Forks Red River 0.
Open all year round to the public, Eagles Crest offers space for holiday parties and family get-togethers. And of course, daily specials, appetizers, and all your favorites, including Sunday brunch buffets. Come in for the view and delicious meals at Eagles Crest Grill.
Grand Trailer Sales in East Grand Forks is your go-to spot for enclosed utility, flatbed, and dump trailers in the Red River Valley. They have the biggest selection on hand of trailers with great pricing. If you're looking for parts, service, or simply to buy, GrandTrailersales.com.
Rivals on the ice, united in the stands, and everyone's geared up from Jarrell Sports Center and Hockey World. Hockey gear, fan apparel, Nodak Pride, we've got it all and more. Locally owned, 1004 South Washington Street. Shop local, shop Jarrell's.
As we welcome you back, folks, into this second quarter, still tending to Ninja Rider. We'll do a quick Vegan Live looking at some games around the region. We'll start first with the crosstown rivals for the Rough Riders. Grand Forks Central is in a tight one against Fargo South on the road. Central with the ball in their hands. They trail 33-38 with 2 minutes left in the fourth quarter here. So Central with a nice opportunity, Sam, to maybe steal a game from Fargo South. You got the game in front of us, of course. Central Cass up 13-0 on Wahpeton. Minot North, up 21-0 on Bismarck St. Mary's. And Devils Lake in a tight one with Jamestown. They lead 14-13, and it was 14-14 the start of the second half across the river there in East Grand Forks. In the shotgun now is Dash, 2 receivers to the left side. He's going to back up, look to his left. He's going to wheel this one out quickly to Brandvold. That ball is going to be behind him.
It's a live ball. This is going to be Brooks Bacco coming all the way back. This is going to be a fumble return for touchdown, 80 yards for Kindred. It is a live ball. That's a touchdown for the Vikings. It was a backwards pass. Bacco wisely scoops and scores. Kindred continues to pile it on.
Brandvold just puts that ball right a hair behind Iverson, and Iverson is just not able to grab that one and thinks it's a dead ball, and then Bacco just playing smart football, picks it up, Sam, and takes that one the other way. An 81-yard fumble return touchdown for Kindred here.
I'm not entirely convinced that that was a backwards pass.
I would agree.
Grand Forks Red River coaching staff looking for a similar explanation with 1 minute and 41 seconds remaining. That's going to be a defensive touchdown, 81-yard fumble return for a touchdown by Brooks Bacco. His third score of the game, has 2 on offense, now 1 on defense.
Just a little bit of a miscue from the Rough Riders there, Sam, and it looked like a decent play design, but just a tough break for the Rough Riders, and they continue to pile on. Injury bug has just been really a hold of them tonight, and then a couple backwards plays, and it kind of just enough to make you pause and maybe give yourself an opportunity next week to look at this film and say, hey, we can circle 6, 7, 8, 9 plays and say this is really what the difference of the game was, and that one is going to be won as the Rough Riders on the doorstep looking for their first score of the evening, just unable to convert as that one goes the other way.
And Adrian, you really have to be disheartened if you're a member of this Rough Rider coaching staff or just a fan watching either here at Cushman Field or on our coverage here on the Rivard Turf and Forage Grand Trailer Sales KNOX Live Sports Network. It feels like it's been the same script throughout the first 3 quarters. Defense doing a good job to push Kindred behind the sticks. And we have a score update from Fargo. It's an absolute shootout as the Fargo South Bruins, a rematch of a game that was played in the Alaris Center last year. Grand Forks Central scoring a touchdown with 1 minute remaining in quarter number 4. They now lead over Fargo South 39-38. So the Knights trying to stay unblemished here in 2025, already with a 4-0 record, trying to push to 5-0.
Central gets the ball back with under 2 minutes to go, and they drive down the field and score. It was a 5-point differential, so the touchdown gives them just a 1-point lead. See if they go for 2 here and try and push it to a field goal, but nonetheless, a great game in Fargo South here. Kindred set to kick it away. Rough Riders going to field this one. This is going to be the first deep kick of the night. Brody Neal's going to grab this one at the 10-yard line. He's going to follow his blocks to the right side here. He's going to try and swing outside, decides to cut it back. He stays up on underneath and still swerks forward as he gets that one out now to about the 27-yard line or so, and a big hit comes in from Kindred. It's number 5, Luke Campbell, laying the wood.
And I was going to say the same thing, Adrian. A pop there from Luke Campbell, making the returner for Grand Forks Red River. Brody Neal feel that one. Campbell, a sophomore running back, linebacker listed on the program, probably only getting reps in the special teams capacity, but making the most of his time on the field there, popping the ball carrier for Red River. So the Rough Riders trying to fix the mistakes. They were finding some momentum before the turnover return for touchdown on the most previous possession. Let's see if they can stay in that rhythm and move the ball effectively down the field with the clock running. Just over a minute remaining in quarter number 3.
Dosh commanding the Rough Riders from the shotgun, takes a high snap, fakes a handoff underneath, fakes some immediate pressure, but gets that ball to Manassa. Manassa puts the brakes on, but gets tackled from behind. Dosh just standing in there, Sam, and just really taking a big lick there. But the Riders do convert a first down as Manassa comes over the middle. With a nice early completion, Riders going to try and roll this ball forward, Sam. And their offense has looked better in the second half as they've been able to get more yards, but just unable to come up with that elusive score thus far.
Great composure there from Dosh with field just right in his face.
Dosh takes his bad snap and puts it right in the bread box of Noah Brandvold. He stumbles forward for about a 3 or 4 yard gain, depending on that spot that we get. Looks like this one's going to go for 3, so the Riders now near midfield, 41-yard line, their own. Line to gain just 7 or 6 yards ahead for them, so Red River has got a chance now to make this a short game and get some short plays. as Dosh again is going to hop underneath center. Riders playing not hurry up, but playing a little bit quicker here. Dosh in the backfield fields a snap. This one right in the middle of his chest plate. This one goes to Bramble. He's going to stretch to the far side. He's probably got some yards here. Bramble's going to pick up that first down and just hobble out of bounds. Gets wrapped up near the stick there. And that one will take us to the end of the third quarter, folks. So that's going to do it through 3 here. Red River down 35-0 on our Ultra Health System scoreboard. Sending to a quick break, I believe, and we come back. Fourth quarter action from Cliff Cushman Field.
Ready to launch your future? At Northland Community and Technical College, opportunity starts here. Train for high-demand technical and skilled trades or start with an affordable Associates of Arts degree and transfer with ease. Visit northlandcollege.edu.
The Kubota BX Series, rated #1 in durability and owner experience. Talk to your Kubota dealer to schedule a demo.
For expert sales and service, visit Acme Equipment or online at acmekubota.com.
Whether it's a golf course, your lawn, a pasture on your farm, cover crop, or even a food plot to help you get that big buck, Rivard's Turf and Forage of Grand Forks has developed, mixed, and packaged the premium specialized seed you need for almost every application. Go to rivards.com.
Rivals on the ice, united in the stands, and everyone's geared up from Jarrell Sports Center and Hockey World. Hockey gear, fan apparel, Nodak Pride, we've got it all and more. Locally owned, 1004 South Washington Street. Shop local, shop Jarrell's.
And welcome back to our coverage of Rough Rider football on the Rivard's Turf and Forage Grand Trailer Sales KNOX Live Sports Network. We're in quarter number 4. Throw 4 fingers up in the air. This quarter is sponsored by PS Garage Doors. The PS stands for Pride and Service. Also the sponsor of our Player of the Game Award. Be sure to stick around for our post-game coverage to hear a scoring summary as we hand out some awards as well and go over the action. As Grand Forks Red River's Matthew Dosh is going to keep this one himself, carry it forward, passes the line of scrimmage, only needed 1, got 2. First down and 10 nearing midfield for the Riders.
Dosh, yeah, it looks like a design quarterback run, Sam, coming out of the break there, and he does barrel forward for that first down. So Red River now at the 49-yard line with the 1st and 10. We have another score update from Fargo Central. Goes for 2 and converts. They lead by 3 with under a minute left. Dosh going to drop back here now. A couple men in his face. He steps up and eludes the pressure nicely, directing traffic. Going to work to the sideline. Oh, man! We're going to get a blindside block, but holy crap, that was a big hit on the near side. Let's take another look at that one, Sam.
And you'll see it on the near side. Number 18, Oliver Piper, just a blindside block, throwing Kindred's linebacker in pursuit, Nolan Mangy, to the ground. But that is going to be a block from behind potentially. So that's going to push Red River back 15 yards, I would imagine. And Mangy hopefully just got the wind knocked out of him. He's laying on the turf.
I'm not sure if that's him, Sam. I think that's number 44 for Kindred, Gavin Ruud. I'm not positive exactly who that is, but nonetheless, I mean, a big hit, but obviously a scary play. And that one will negate the gain for the Rough Riders as both officials got it.
This timeout brought to you by Apex Apparel and Big Jim's Tire. Like we mentioned, we're keeping our eye on the score down south in Fargo as the Bruins are taking on Grand Forks Central. Central taking a late lead in the later stages of quarter number 4. We'll provide score updates and hopefully a final score update soon as that becomes available to us. Also taking place over in East Grand Forks if you want to switch over your coverage. Also having video coverage available for you on that one as the Green Wave taking on Pelican Rapids. The most recent score update we had was at the halftime break, 14-14. So it looks like a good football game taking place on the east side of the Red River. The Green Wave all knotted up with the Vikings from Pelican Rapids.
Gavin Ruud now does get propped up, and he looks like he's maybe going to need a little help off the field.
And we will actually take a break here, folks, as we allow the injured player to receive some medical attention. Once again, hoping the best, hoping it was just the wind knocked out of him. A blindside block coming from the Grand Forks Red River wide receiver. Once again, this is Rough Rider football on KNOX Live Sports.
It takes attention to detail. With your local Bryant dealer, you're getting someone who pays attention to the little things that make a big difference. And to keep your family cool this summer, it takes Bryant.
Connect with Thermal Air today, your Bryant certified dealer.
In Grand Forks, it's about more than just where you live. It's about the people you trust when life happens. At Logan Karski State Farm, we're proud to protect what matters most. I'm Logan Karski with State Farm, and we'd be honored to be your good neighbor.
When the lights go out, count on the pros. Bergstrom Electric in Grand Forks, the area's largest full-service electrical contractor. From commercial builds to homes, they're trusted for quality, safety, and award-winning work. Call today, 701-775-8897.
As Fisher Johnson gets up and is helped by the Kindred trainers, we're certainly happy to see that. Little discussion up here if that is the man that took the big block from the Rough Riders, but nonetheless the player is in good shape, and we are thankful for that. A dangerous play, Sam, and it certainly can be. This one's going to back the Rough Riders up now. They're going to face first and, well, it looks like 19. I don't know if that's a 15-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. I believe it is. It'll be first and 19 for the Rough Riders from their own 40-yard line here.
Things are getting a little chippy here in quarter number 4. The clock will continue to run after this snap. Just want to see this game end with no further injuries. Red River certainly no shortage in that department. They have been really beat up all season long, and they're facing some depth issues up front. Their quarterback, Reese Walters, going down earlier this game, hoping that that's not long-term. Matt Dosh filling in admirably since the Walters injury, as the Rough Riders pick up a handful of yards there to make it second down and long. It'll be second down and 15 from the Rough Rider 45.
A little under 11 minutes remaining in this fourth quarter. The Rough Riders just looking to put some, like you said, Sam, some positive film on the record here and maybe get a couple good plays. They got to regroup and get ready for their game next week. Dosh in the shotgun now. One man to his right side, 2 receivers far. Takes this ball. It's going to be a bad snap. He's just got to fall on it. Nearly beating him to that ball is number 25, Clayton Elthoff. But Dosh is able to fall on top of that ball, but another little kind of questionable snap puts the Riders in a bad spot, Sam.
And don't want to beat a dead horse, but that's just a consistent issue for the Rough Riders. We saw it last week, like we've mentioned throughout the course of the broadcast, and it continues to be a nagging issue for the Red River offense here against Kindred. And when you're maybe mismatched against a team that you're not expected to win, you cannot have those mistakes, both snap issues and flag. And there's another bad snap. Dosh running backwards, kicks it back to his own 20-yard line. So it is going to be fourth down and absolutely forever. Red River is going to be forced to punt from their own 20-yard line.
Back-to-back muff snaps for the Rough Riders, Sam. Negates really, they had the big penalty, and then back-to-back muff snaps negate what was looking like a nice possession. Dosh is going to trot back and go to punt this ball. Different returner in now for Kindred. That's number 25, Clayton Althoff. He's going to get a chance to get a touch here.
Kindred will notice not seeing Baco on the field, not seeing Starcevic, so starting to see some of these second-teamers, some good, valuable varsity playing time coming up for Kindred, and I'd imagine Red River will probably mix in some of their second-teamers as well to try and limit the injury bug that's been plaguing Red River all season long.
Nice boot from Dosh there, as that one's going to trickle out near the 41-yard line. See if I can't get a score update from Fargo South, and we do. Grand Forks Central will improve to 5-0. They beat Fargo South in a thriller, 41-38, kind of the first real shootout that the Knights have been in, Sam, and they do a nice job coming over the top, driving late to score on Fargo South. So the Knights will improve to 5-0. Some other scores around the region. Central Cass up 19-0 on WAP. Minot North up 28-0 on Bismarck St. Mary's near the end of the first half there. Devils Lake and Jamestown in a good game also nearing the end of the first half there, 14-13, as the Firebirds do lead Jamestown just barely. See if we can get a score update from the east side before the end of this broadcast. Kindred's offense set to take over with a little bit of a different look. Under center now, I want to say that's number 1, Gabe. Well, look, maybe it still is Whipple.
I think that's number 7. That's Jackson Shielman. Shielman's going to hand this off, so it is the backup quarterback in the game for the Vikings. Just want to bring our attention back to just a massive victory come from behind for Grand Forks Central. Jake Schauer and the Knights stay perfect, 5-0 to start the 2025 season. Grand Forks High School football trying to continue their trend, looking for 3 straight years of having a representative of Grand Forks in the Dakota Bowl. 2 years ago, it was Grand Forks Central losing to Fargo North. Red River losing last year in a heartbreaker to West Fargo Horace. The Knights trying to return again here in 2025.
From the shotgun now is Shielman. Shielman going to field this ball and hand it off underneath. It is a big stop from Red River there. I don't know who the running back was, but he ran into a wall of red as Red River gets a nice defensive stuff on the handoff play there. And they got a chance now. It's going to be third and behind the sticks for Kindred. Red River with a good opportunity to maybe give themselves a little spark and put a little momentum back in this game.
Zane Thurman meeting the ball carrier in the backfield, sophomore with some potential, 6'2", 215 pounds, and he made all of that weight felt on the ball carrier for Kindred there. So it's going to be 3rd down and long upcoming for the Vikings. So some good film being put onto the record for this Rough Rider defense, trying to force the punting unit onto the field for Kindred to try get some positive film, if any, for the offense for Red River.
Dropping back now is Schielman from the. Oh, wow, he's going to get rocked in the backfield. They'll see if that ball is a fumble. It is ruled an incomplete pass, but the Riders bringing some pressure off the edge. Not sure if that was Jack Matson coming in off the edge, and a nice play from him. Matson just gets a big snap on Schielman. Schielman was well in his drop back and was well in rhythm, but just did not see that blindside pressure coming from Matson, and Matson takes him down. Now Kindred likely to punt here. They're going to tee this one up from their own 38-yard line.
Anders Huseman punting for Kindred. And showing you that replay brought to you by American Family Insurance, Tyler Nagel Agency. Don't think Schielman saw it coming. Bad snap for Kindred. Going back to take, and this one's going to go to the back of the end zone. Potentially a touchdown for Red River. Waiting for a call underneath the Kindred goal post, and that's going to be a touchdown. A botch snap touchdown for the Riders. They put points on the board.
Riders in the 2nd straight week, Sam, ending up with a special teams touchdown there. The snap just overhead and able to fall on it as a Rough Rider. I was signaling to you, touchback. I thought that thing was going to roll out of the end of the end zone, but it just stopped right there in the final yard. So Red River with the spark gets on the board, and they are now got a little bit of energy back on the sideline, and the fans certainly happy to see a score finally go up on our Ultra Health System scoreboard, Sam.
Going to write that down in our Bergstrom Electric scoring summary that we'll bring you through in the post-game report. Believe that was Jarrett Jonason hopping on top of that, and he'll be given credit to the score. The point after attempt is good for the Rough Riders, so 6 minutes and 28 seconds remaining in quarter number 4. The Riders get some points up on our Ultra Health System scoreboard, still trailing by a lot. Too little, too late, 42-17, still in favor of Kindred.
Folks, we do have an score update from East Grand Forks. Pelican Rapids does lead the East Grand Forks Green Wave 20-14 with 6 minutes remaining. So let's see if there's a little magic. Cole Schmierberg leading the Green Wave this year. They've battled back from an 0-2 start. They do pop up over at 2,500, with 2 straight road wins, looking to defend senior high tonight. They're going to meet another nail biter on the east side tonight, Sam.
If you want to flip over to that one, if you're watching us on YouTube, click on our channel, and that will take you, then click on the live tab, take a look at what's going on tonight. Of course, we have this coverage between Red River and Kindred, but as we mentioned over on KNOX Live Sports, we also have our coverage of East Grand Forks taking on Pelican Rapids. That window should also be available for you if you're watching on your computer, knoxradio.com, under the Live Sports tab. Should be a good finish. Jacob Lindemann on the call over in East Side. So Red River putting points up on the board. Not exactly how you'd think they would have drawn up or imagined that they would get points in this matchup against the number 2 team in the state of North Dakota, Class 2A high school football, the Kindred Vikings. But you'll take them when you can get them, and that puts points up on the board. It's going to be a botched snap on the punt for Kindred with 6:28, and hopping on top of it for the Rough Riders is Jarrett Jonason. And that brings us to where we're at on our Ultra Health System scoreboard, 42-7 in favor of Kindred.
Kindred just falls on what kind of was like a low ground and pound type snap there, but they were able to come up on top of that ball to get another look at Schielman in the backfield here. Kindred just looking to coast out on this one, get out of town with as few injuries as possible. They will improve to 5-0, and if they were not getting, the crazy thing about Kindred, Sam, is that they only get 2 first-place votes. We watched a team here basically go to work on the Rough Riders, and they played excellent and complete football. They have the top 2 rated prospects in the state for the 2nd year in a row, mind you. And it just makes you wonder, what does a first-place team look like in Minot North?
And when we talk about common opponents, and we have obviously take this with a grain of salt, now Minot North and Kindred have the common opponent of Grand Forks Red River, the number 1 and 2 teams in the state at the 2A level. Red River losing to Minot North by a similar margin, 45-14, being played in Minot. Now Kindred coming to Cushman Field here in Grand Forks, and it's a similar margin of victory against Grand Forks Red River. They're leading 42-7, so 2 very similar teams, and you got to imagine if they ultimately do meet each other in the Dakota Bowl, what a matchup that will be.
Yeah, and that's going to be just an absolute fireworks show, Sam. I mean, these teams are obviously, Kindred and Minot North, and this is no disrespect to Grand Forks Central, are just on a different level in this Class AA division. I mean, they are playing excellent football right now. They're just on top of it. They're well coached. Eric Burgard is in his, I believe, 11th year with the program, 3rd as head coach. He coordinated their defense previously, and you see kind of some of the experience that he brings to the table. Shielman now in shotgun men in front and behind him. He's going to wait for the snap here, and he gets it. Going to be chest high. This one's going to go to the right side. Red River going to sniff this one out quickly and just tackle the running back there for a short gain. Ball carrier in that one, number 25. That is Clayton Althoff.
Aiden Beckman with the tackle for Grand Forks Red River. So they had success against this second team for Kindred last time around, really making the backup quarterback, Jackson Shielman, the sophomore for Kindred, feel the pressure. So you got to imagine that Kindred will not want to put Shielman through any more beating. They're going to try to keep the ball on the ground and run out the remainder of the clock. Just under 6 minutes remaining in quarter number 4 here at Cushman Field.
And the Riders, Sam, trying to do the same, maybe just leave this game with as few wounded ducks as possible. They had a couple big injuries early. Cam Irion is out for this game. Reese Walters goes down. We see, name is escaping me, excuse me. We see Jack Helgeson come out for a time. We've seen number 77, Zane Thurman, come out for a time. So the Rough Riders just kind of battling that injury bug here. A little bit thin up front as well tonight. So hopefully we're hoping for some speedy and quick recoveries for all of those players. But we're hoping the Rough Riders can return those players and return to the team that we're used to seeing out here on Cushman.
Yeah, Grand Forks Red River getting beaten up, and like you said, injuries, it's part of the game. You hate to see it, and that's really where you test the depth of your program. Grand Forks Red River, their twos, it's going to be tough to keep up against a really stacked roster in Kindred. Nice pass there from Shielman to the near side, getting connected with Tanner Mengi, sophomore running back. That's good enough to move the chains. 1st down and 10 now for Kindred nearing midfield.
Shielman's going to drop back and roll out, look for a long ball downfield. This one nearly picked off by the Rough Riders. Just going to be swatted by Jack Matson, as this one's going to now go to, I believe, second down and 10 from their own 42-yard line are the Kindred Vikings. A little over 4 minutes remain on our scoreboard here.
Not a whole lot of candidates for the finest auto trim cover of the game, but that's certainly one that we're going to keep on file. Jack Matson with the SWAT defensive pass breakup, forcing a 2nd down and 10. Clock continues to run with the margin at 35 points. Kindred leading over Grand Forks Red River. 2nd down and 10 now from the Vikings' own 43-yard line.
Shielman puts a man in motion, doesn't quite make it across the formation. Quick pitch to the crack side. This one's going to go quickly underneath. This is going to be, I believe, number 25, Clayton Althoff, with a nice pickup there, Sam. That one's going to go good, I believe, for 15 for Althoff. So just a little bit of a pitch back on the kind of the offside there, and he gets a nice pickup of 15 there on 2nd down rather.
And you see Kindred throw a man in motion, the slot receiver. You bring him to the near side of the offensive line, and the power is on the near side, right side of the offensive line. So a little bit of a misdirection pitch to the far side, and plenty of room to run for Althoff. He wasn't touched until he was 12 yards beyond the line of scrimmage. Good play call, good execution from the Viking offense.
With it now in the backfield is Shielman. They're going to go pitch now to the other side, working quickly. Is this going to be, again, Clayton Althoff? Man, I cannot get his name to stick in my head. I'm looking at my prep sheet every time, but Althoff, another nice big carry for him, 9 yards. He's got 24 in the last 2 plays, Sam.
And once again, not being touched until he was 6 yards beyond the line of scrimmage. So this second-team offensive line for Kindred doing a good job of pushing some bodies around, making the running easy for Althoff. 2nd down and short from the Red River 42-yard line.
Kindred going to break the huddle and trot up to the line. The blue pants, white jerseys, blue helmet. Nice jersey matchup against, of course, the Chrome Reds from the Red River Rough Riders. Shielman now in the backfield. This one's going to be a false start. Maybe not, I guess. Thought I heard a whistle there. Shielman's going to dance around the backfield. We got a helmet off. Shielman's going to scramble. He's going to go. He's got near side. He decides to cut into the pressure, and he gets brought down for a big hit. Thought it looked like it was a false start or something.
I also heard a whistle, so I thought that was going to be a whistle dead before the snap. However, it appears to be a broken play of sorts, but good job as Jackson Shielman is starting to show some of his potential. The sophomore backup quarterback for Kindred, he'll be given the reins after this season. The senior quarterback, number 1, Gabe Whipple, putting together an admirable performance tonight for Kindred, but we're seeing who's up next, and they do not rebuild, they reload.
That's right. And this is a team, Sam, Kindred, population less than 900. It's quite incredible the amount of athletes they have been able to filter in there to their community, whether or not that's transfers out, as we have Bristol Swanson now in the game. And we get a flag, pre-snap infraction here.
That's going to be a delay of game against Kindred. So the freshman quarterback, Bristol Swanson, coming into the game, trying to get some reps for even a younger player, potentially a quarterback battle to look forward to in 2026. You're seeing Jackson Shielman, the sophomore, getting snaps, showing some flashes in the pan, and now the freshman Bristol Swanson coming into the game. So this is just another sign of good coaching. Eric Burgard knows what he's doing, getting some good, valuable varsity reps for some of the younger players on his team.
And that's how you develop the guys, Sam. We saw it last week. Red River did this to Williston, where you're able to mix in some different guys and give some guys an opportunity to play some varsity snaps. This one's going to go quarterback designed run. Maybe it was an option as he just barely battles back, trying to get back some of those yards picked up on the penalty. This one's going to be spotted near the line to gain. Again, Bristol Swanson in the game for the Kindred Vikings as we're down under near a minute and a half here. And I think Kindred is in absolutely no hurry to run a plays. They're just maybe ready to get on the bus and head back home.
And right now, this is almost a game within a game. Kindred's going to try move the chains one more time, and that should allow them to move into victory formation with the running clock. Just try bleed out the remainder of the game with the ball in your hands. So try move the chains one more time, and you'll be able to move into victory formation.
With it now is Swanson. Swanson kind of gets a weird snap there. He's looking for his man to hand off.
False start.
Another false start is my counterpart Sam Jensen correctly calls. This one will back up Kindred to 2nd and 20 now, playing behind their sticks. Now back out near midfield again, near the 37-yard line or so.
Great broadcast. Happy to bring it to you tonight on the Rivards Turf and Forage Grand Trailer Sales KNOX Live Sports Network. Sam Jensen alongside my partner Adrian Cummings, and a shout out to our cameraman Joey Spanger, giving us a crisp image all night long behind the camera. And none of this would be possible without the support of our sponsors. Absolutely no subscriptions necessary, no paywalls that you'll need to go through to access our content. So please support those who support us, our network sponsors, Grand Trailer Sales, Rivards Turf and Forage, or whether it's a live read that you hear Adrian or myself mention, or a commercial that you see during one of our breaks. None of our coverage would be possible without our great sponsors on KNOX Live Sports.
Yeah, and we're happy that we've been able to expand some of our coverage over the last couple seasons, Sam. And again, not possible without our partners.
Don't go anywhere as this game, the final 30 seconds winding off the clock. We have our post-game show coming up. That post-game show will be brought to you by Spray Advantage and the Ski and Bike Shop. We're going to bring you through a scoring summary, hand out some awards, show some highlights as we wrap up this game for Grand Forks Red River. It looks like they're headed to a 2-3 start to begin the 2025 season as the final play is completed by the Kindred Vikings. That's a final on our All True Health System scoreboard. Kindred 42, Grand Forks Red River 7. We're going to take a quick break, hear a word from our great partners. When we come back, we'll bring you our post-game coverage on KNOX Live Sports.
It's game day, and whether you're feeding the family or the entire team, Hugo's is the place to go. Score big with favorites from the meat department, delicious fresh veggies, and don't forget about the bakery to celebrate the big win. Hugo's Family Marketplace, your game day headquarters.
Thief River Glass handles it all. Aluminum storefronts, auto glass, windows, shower enclosures, and more. Just like our athletes, we're built for every season. No job is too big or too small. Call 218-681-1333 for year-round dependable service.
When you're looking for a change of pace, a change of routine, or a change of scenery, we'll help you find what's next. Berkshire Hathaway Home Services. For you, for life.
Ready to launch your future? At Northland Community and Technical College, opportunity starts here. Train for high-demand technical and skilled trades, or start with an affordable Associates of Arts degree and transfer with ease. Visit northlandcollege.edu.
The Kubota BX Series, rated #1 in durability and owner experience. Talk to your Kubota dealer to schedule a demo.
For expert sales and service, visit Acme Equipment or online at acmekubota.com.
Whether it's a golf course, your lawn, a pasture on your farm, cover crop, or even a food plot to help you get that big buck, Rivards Turf and Forage of Grand Forks has developed, mixed, and packaged the premium specialized seed you need for almost every application. Go to rivards.com.
Rivals on the ice, united in the stands, and everyone's geared up from Jarrell Sports Center and Hockey World. Hockey gear, fan apparel, Nodak Pride, we've got it all and more. Locally owned, 1004 South Washington Street. Shop local, shop Jarrell's.
Grand Trailer Sales in East Grand Forks is your go-to spot for enclosed utility, flatbed, and dump trailers in the Red River Valley. They have the biggest selection on hand of trailers with great pricing. If you're looking for parts, service, or simply to buy, GrandTrailersSales.com.
Welcome to our post-game coverage of North Dakota High School football tonight on KNOX Live Sports, brought to you by Rivard's Turf and Forage and Grand Trailer Sales. Final score on our All-True Health System scoreboard: Kindred, the number 2 team in the state, beating Grand Forks Red River by a score of 42-7. This post-game show is brought to you by Spray Advantage, everything you need for the chemical and spraying application on your farm, and the Ski and Bike Shop, where your next adventure begins. We're going to run you through a scoring summary, hand out a couple of video awards for some excellent plays that we saw on the field. We're going to start off with our scoring summary, and we're going to bring it all the way back to half number 1 with 8 minutes and 39 seconds remaining in quarter number 1. Kindred had a 1-yard rushing touchdown from Miles Thielgis after a 30-yard rush from Sawyer Hess, putting the Vikings in the RBB Electric Red Zone. Kindred executes the point after attempt to push the score to 7-0. And then 4 minutes later, with 4 minutes remaining in quarter number 1, a 3-yard scoring rush from Gabe Whipple, the quarterback, looked like he was stopped at the line of scrimmage inside the 2-yard line on 4th down. Good second effort play from the senior quarterback, able to punch it into the end zone. And then a successful 2-point conversion made the score 15-0. Then with under a minute remaining in the first, Kindred strikes again. This time it's a long one, a 52-yard rushing touchdown from Sawyer Hess, the senior running back for Kindred. That pushed the score to 21-0 after a blocked extra point opportunity. And then we move to quarter number 2, a 16-yard rushing touchdown from number 2, Brooks Bacco, a broken play where he bounces it out to the outside, the far side, able to enter the end zone for a score. That made it 29-0. Then we move into half number 2. Kindred picks up right where they left off, a 28-yard passing touchdown on 4th and long. Gabe Whipple getting connected with Brooks Bacco for his second touchdown of the game. And then later on in quarter number 3, after the score is 35-0. It's a defensive score for Brooks Bacco, so 2 touchdowns offensively, 1 defensively for the junior wide receiver and defensive back for the Vikings. A swing pass to the far side, ruled a fumble. Bacco wisely scoops it up and runs it 81 yards down the field for the score. That made it 42-0. Grand Forks Red River getting a special teams touchdown. This coming with 6 minutes and 28 seconds remaining in the game. Just a botched snap from the punt team from Kindred that goes all the way back to the end zone, gets hopped on top of by Jarrett Jonason, the senior wide receiver and defensive back for the Rough Riders. And that brings us to our final score of 42-7 on our All-True Health System scoreboard. Once again, that scoring summary is brought to you by Bergstrom Electric. The light does shine brighter. Now we're going to move forward and go through a couple of our video awards. This first video award is going to be our finest auto finest auto trim cover of the game. Big or small, they can cover it all. And this came in garbage time in quarter number 4 as Jack Matson with a pass break up for Grand Forks Red River in the later stages of quarter number 4. Not a lot of defensive highlights to show you from the Riders, but this is going to be a nice pass break up by Matson, and that's going to be the recipient of our finest auto trim cover of the game. And then our play of the game. And our play of the game is going to be brought to you by Holloway Junk and Demo, the lead provider of junk removal services in the greater Grand Forks area. I believe we have this replay plugged in. This is going to be that Brooks Bacco receiving touchdown for 3rd down and long correction, 3rd and 18. And you'll see Whipple drop back, knowing where he's going the entire time. Great high point by Bacco, and that's going to be his 28-yard receiving touchdown. Once again, that's going to be our Holloway Junk and Demo highlight of the game to go along with our finest auto trim cover of the game that goes to Jack Matson for Grand Forks Red River. So that's our scoring summary, our finest auto trim cover of the game, and our Holloway Junk and Demo highlight of the game. We're going to take one more final break of this broadcast, and when we come back, we'll hand out our PS Garage Doors player of the game. This is our post-game coverage on the Rivard's Turf and Forage Grand Trailer Sales KNOX Live Sports Network.
It takes attention to detail. With your local Bryant dealer, you're getting someone who pays attention to the little things that make a big difference. And to keep your family cool this summer, it takes Bryant.
Connect with Thermal Air today, your Bryant certified dealer.
In Grand Forks, it's about more than just where you live. It's about the people you trust when life happens. At Logan Karski State Farm, we're proud to protect what matters most. I'm Logan Karski with State Farm, and we'd be honored to be your good neighbor.
When the lights go out, count on the pros. Bergstrom Electric in Grand Forks, the area's largest full-service electrical contractor. From commercial builds to homes, they're trusted for quality, safety, and award-winning work. Call today, 701-775-8897.
When you need the right part for your pickup, head to Northwood or call Mike's Custom Truck. Amanda will drop ship any part you need. Turbos, upgraded fuel pumps, Edge products, and more. Mike's Custom Truck, 587-6335.
When you're in pain, you need more than just a doctor. You need a problem solver. Count on All True Orthopedics and Sports Medicine and get back to what moves you.
Hey, this is Pastor Paul. I'd like to welcome you to Hope Church, especially if you're a person that doesn't have a place where you hang out spiritually. We would love for you to come and experience hope and find God. Hope Church, 9, 10:30, and 6 p.m. on Sundays. For more information, you can check out gfhope.org.
Pick 6 for $19.99, a perfect meal for two.
That's gotta rhyme.
Well, how about munching on Pick 6, my mouth going yap, yap. People always staring at my wings, they go flap, flap. Dave is so surprised because he didn't know I'd rap. Pick 6 meal for two for $19.99.
H&S Electrical Services is proud to support local high school sports. From homes to industry, we deliver safe, reliable electrical solutions. Locally owned and operated, our skilled team ensures quality and service you can trust. H&S, trusted in your homes and businesses.
Welcome back to our post-game report of Grand Forks Red River football losing tonight to the number 2 team in the state, the Kindred Vikings, by a final of 42-7. We're wrapping up our post-game report brought to you by the Ski and Bike Shop, where your next adventure begins, and the Spray Advantage, everything you need for chemical and spraying application on your farm. Adrian, just one final element to talk about, and that's going to be our PS Garage Doors Player of the Game. I'll let you make this selection. Who's going to be our Player of the Game in tonight's matchup?
You know, Sam, after seeing, you hear about this player in the news and you see him on social media, and then after seeing him play, you'll understand that all of the hype is 100% warranted. My PS Garage Doors Player of the Game tonight is going to be Brooks Bacco. I mean, just a huge frame out there, a man amongst boys, really, and I mean that with no disrespect to anyone else. He had a great game today, 2 big touchdown catches. He had that big fumble recovery right when it seemed like Red River was maybe going to kind of turn the tide and get some momentum early in that fourth quarter. He makes a smart football play and takes that one 81 yards for the other way. So Brooks Bacco is going to be our PS Garage Doors Player of the Game against 3 total touchdowns. Had the big strike on that third, and I think 8 teamed as like a 30-yard completion or something. It just hit a huge home run ball, got it at the high point. He did a nice job tonight. But Brooks Bacco is 100% bona fide, Sam.
Great selection and almost a triple crown of sorts. Had that receiving touchdown, the rushing touchdown on what appeared to be a broken play in quarter number 2, and then a defensive touchdown on the scoop and score fumble return for touchdown for 81 yards. So an excellent selection. That's who I would have went with as well. Brooks Bacco, the recipient of tonight's Player of the Game, brought to you by PS Garage Doors. The PS stands for Pride and Service. Real quick, a look at what's coming up for Grand Forks Red River. They're going to go on the road the next couple of weeks. They take on Central Cass and Castleton next week. The following week, they're in Wahpeton before they return to Cushman Field for their home finale against Fargo South on October 16th. So thank you for joining us tonight for our coverage of Red River football on the Rivards Turf and Forage Grand Trailer Sales KNOX Live Sports Network. Until next time, have a wonderful